Good afternoon and welcome to Locally Hated Podcast. I am Jessica Herring, your host, the news lady. I have three guests with me here today. Well, I guess Greg and Brandon aren't really guests
I don't think we're guests anymore.
I think y'all are just permanent fixtures. I got the IT Lord, I got Brandon Lyons, and another mayoral candidate, Mr. Andrey Sandanski. How are you?
I'm good. How's everybody?
We're doing good.
We're doing great. So, Mr. Andrey is one of the four candidates for the mayoral race in the city of Leesville. Voting day is on May the 16th. So, Mr. Andrey, to open things up, won't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So, I've been in the community for the last 26, going on 27 years. Everyone pretty much knows me from my job. They always call me the man that's always willing to help. So I'm pretty sure seeing my face versus listening my name will make a difference.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't know who you were until I seen you in the truck out there, and then I recognized you from your job. I was like, I do know him. I don't know him, but I know who he is.
Yeah. I've seen him before.
Yeah.
So like, when people see me, they know who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
What is your job again?
I'm in management. I work for one of the corporations locally.
Okay. Are you allowed to say which one or no?
We're not. Yeah, I was going to say we're not endorsing them.
I am, but
I don't know.
Yeah, my job is not endorsing me. Actually, most of my
no, you don't have to. I was just
the
curious.
people that work for me don't even know I'm running. So
gotcha. And feel free to get real up close to that mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I don't mention it. But other than that, I don't have an issue. I mean, I like the company. I've been with it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say long time, how many years?
25.
Oh, that's commitment.
Yeah.
That's a big commitment.
So
especially there.
Yeah.
That's the type of person I am. If I have set of rules that I live my life by, and when I do something, I always strive for excellence. I always want to achieve my goals that I put for myself and improve on everything else. So I tend to stick with what I'm doing, and I try to get better with the days passing.
So I have a question, and it really pertains none at all to your campaign, but it's obvious that you don't sound like the rest of us. Where are you from?
I'm actually from Europe.
Okay.
Yeah. He's from north of I-10.
No, you clearly that's apparent.
Poland, right?
No,
not Poland.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I always appreciate accents.
Where in Europe?
Bulgaria.
Okay. I don't know why I was thinking Poland.
Poland.
I don't know.
Okay.
I thought I had heard that on Tattoos and Views, but I guess I hallucinated that.
Yeah, you must have.
Yeah, no, we didn't even say it. We talked about it before.
But you've been here for a long time.
Yes, 26 years now, going on 27 in Leesville.
In Leesville. Okay, so but you were in the States even longer than that. You've been in the States, I think you said in the other podcast, which Andrey also had another podcast with Leesville Tattoos and Views, which is another local podcast. Look them up on YouTube. They're also interviewing mayoral candidates. So there may be questions that Andrey asked on that podcast that they didn't ask here. So by all means, please go check them out. Our friends over there at Leesville Tattoos and Views. So you've been here since your teens, correct?
Yes, my whole family is here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So y'all all came over. Yes. Okay, well that's good though. At least you're not here like without your family.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, our family is really close. Mm-hmm. We always help each other. We always support each other. So if my family is not here, I wouldn't be here.
Right. Yeah. I always think about that. Like when I see videos on the internet, you'll see, and it's like people get reunited with their mom that they haven't seen in 20 years. And it's like, gosh, that's like, it's something you don't think about when people leave a country that they may not be able to go back, or there may be some sort of reason that their family can't come with them. And that's really,
that would be a nightmare for me.
He's like, no, I'm not going that long. No. So who are you when nobody's watching? Like, what is there anything that you like to watch on TV, binge watch, anything like that? Hobbies, anything?
So I used to have lots of hobbies. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys see the cane. I had some back and hip surgeries, so most of my hobbies I don't do anymore. I used to love hunting, fishing. I have 2 motorcycles that I haven't ridden in a long time, in years. I make knives. I've been making knives since I was little, probably about 9 or 10. It was the first time I made a knife. My grandfather, he used to make knives as a hobby. My father made knives, and I picked up from there and became my true hobby for life.
So are we talking about like a pocket knife or like a big knife?
No. Any knife you can imagine, including swords.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
That's
So,
and I when I messaged Andrey, I asked him about that. I said, look, even if you don't come on the podcast, you're going to have to come hang out and, so I can pick your brain about, setting up a forge and,
yeah, he said on the other podcast that he built his forge. Him and his dad built it.
I heard about that.
So me and my father, we built a forge. I'm a mechanic by profession. I actually have a degree, and my father has a manufacturing degree. So together we built years ago a forge, as both of us have the same hobby. So we both made knives. Friends was always around. I taught friends how to make them. But once your back goes out, all that kind of...
Yeah, that's probably a lot of work physically.
It slows way down anyway.
Yes. Now, I still have a knife that I have never finished. It's been years that I started but never finished. So one day, I'll hopefully be able to finish it.
Yeah.
So do you have any favorite TV shows? Do you watch anything you binge watch on TV?
So anything that looks good, to be honest with you. I usually scroll. Through shows and movies. Now there is movies that I watch over and over and over because good movies, classic movies.
Ooh, name me one. Like what kind of?
For example, I watch different genres too. Criminal movies, suspense. I watch comedies. And one of my favorite comedies will be with Eddie Murphy, Trading Place. I don't know if you guys know him. Then, of course, The Godfather is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, The
Godfather is one of the best movies ever made.
So, yeah.
Second only to Tombstone.
Any movies.
I think we covered that last week.
Al Pacino, Robert De Niro will play, I've watched.
Okay.
Most movies that Eddie Murphy plays in, I watched. So the older movies when they truly acted, not CGI or AI.
Yeah.
Those.
So no rom-coms though. I didn't hear you mention any rom-coms.
Well,
We wasn't going to go that route, but
yeah.
What kind of bikes do you have?
So I have super bikes, Ninjas, Kawasaki Ninja.
Okay.
I have two of them. One is for my wife. One is for me. We used to take rides together.
Oh, okay.
We used to get on and just take a ride either to Lake Charles or
She's
Houston.
badass then, because I'm not a motorcycle driver. I'm a motorcycle rider. Like I'm the passenger on the motorcycle.
Before I started having back issues, I actually taught my wife how to ride it. And I have videos on the old parking lot of Lowe's. As soon as Lowe's closed, I think that was like 2012, 2013. And that parking lot was vacant. Tractor Supply was not there at the time. So we used that parking lot as practice.
Could y'all see Galen trying to teach me to ride a motorcycle? I would go south so fast.
real quick. Real quick.
But here's the funny thing. I have videos of it. And while I was teaching her how to drive a motorcycle so she can get licensed, there was guys stopping by thinking that we was going to race. So they wanted to race. I'm like, no, this is just me teaching her so she can get licensed so we can actually take rides together.
That's really cool, though. At least she took an interest in it.
What'd she start on? Which Ninja?
So she started on a Kawasaki 250, which is a hybrid between a street bike and a sports bike.
Right.
What is it you have? You got a bike?
Yeah, I have a Yamaha MT-10 right now. Before that, I had a Ninja ZX6R, and before that, I had a Honda 250 CBR 250.
We have a Harley fat boy. So that's probably why I'm not trying to learn how to drive that. It's really heavy.
Yeah, they are.
It's really
they're loud.
heavy.
Harleys are terrible bikes. Truly. I mean,
what?
Yeah, they are.
I happen to love that bike.
It's
terrible.
a name.
They're
just
overpriced. Yeah, if you get on any like Japanese equivalent bike or
but
any Asian
you
bike,
want speed. I'm not trying to get speed.
No, not even speed. Like you get on a Honda Goldwing, that's 10 times the bike that any.
You want me to
Harley
get on a
is.
Paw Paw bike?
That's called a geezer.
No, sir.
That's called a geezer glider.
I mean,
Yeah, that's not no.
even Italian. I mean, go Ducati, something. But
Well, you're going high end then.
Harleys are just but I mean, about the same price as a Harley for
Well, so we came by the bike, not the regular way.
Yeah.
So
You may need to put a disclaimer to that.
yeah, we didn't steal it. It was there before me, but it wasn't like we went out and bought it. It was something that came up, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll buy it." We literally never, hardly ever ride the bike, but. I enjoy it. I just don't think I would ever want to learn to drive it. It is so heavy.
Yeah.
So heavy. So but also coming from having a tow truck, owning a tow truck, seeing the damage that gets done by those small bikes also freaks me out. So, because a lot of times when people have a fast bike, they want to go fast.
So I always said the bike will do what you make the bike do.
Right.
So you always have to be responsible when riding a bike.
Yeah. And I think that's really what you have to take away from that, because there's a lot of people that's like, oh yeah, the bike will go this fast, and then they make it go that fast. And it's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
So,
and statistically, I mean, the most motorcycle crashes happen with people who are drunk. It's mostly like Harley or cruisers going to the bar.
I feel so
drinking,
attacked right
and then
now.
leaving, and then
We don't even drink.
So drinking and intersections; those are the two big.
yeah, intersections are a big one.
But I mean, look, if you get a Harley for the culture aspect of it, I completely understand. Like, you want to get a Harley and join the cultural groups or whatever, but you can't pretend that it's a good bike for the money.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I've heard they're money pits, is what I've heard.
Yeah, they vibrate like hell.
They do.
They're
They
heavy,
really do.
They're underpowered for what they are. I mean,
I accidentally.
they're cool, but they're not a good deal.
Mary Ann's bringing water that Brandon requested way earlier.
That's not a dig at you, by the way. Thank you.
I told Brandon he was inconveniencing everybody.
In my defense, I told Greg not to worry about it if it wasn't here handy. He said, no, I'll just text Mary Ann.
Yeah, we can't have cotton mouth.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Mary Ann's the lady that makes things happen around here.
Right.
Thank you.
So I accidentally joined a cult once, and when I bought a Jeep, I didn't know I was joining a cult. I just thought it was.
Wasn't it that yellow thing you had?
Yes, and then like everybody's waving at you, and it's like the, I don't know, the 7-slot society. I had to learn so much. It was a lot of responsibility to be a Jeep owner, and I was just like, man, I'm trading.
Did anybody ever give you a duck?
Oh gosh, listen, the duck thing. It's always.
I don't understand it.
I don't either.
I seen a Jeep the other day. The whole windshield.
The whole
was covered,
windshield.
and I don't know how that person is able to see.
Well, and two, my thing, and it may be coming from being, again, owning a tow truck. The only thing that I can see is how many projectiles are going to hit you in the face if something hits your car. Yeah. Like it to me, it's it's like, man, but you got to wave at everybody or you become the Jeep butthole. Like you gotta, and then
is that an official title?
Yes, and then like for some reason the Jeep Gladiator is not part of that. So then if but they look exactly the same from the front. Yeah. So then if you accidentally wave, you give the 2-finger thing to the Jeep Gladiator, then it's like, oh, it's the wrong one.
It's the same on the motorcycle when you pass scooters sometimes, because sometimes some of the scooters look like motorcycles, and I'll pass and I'm like,
I don't look. I'm not bad at scooters. I'm not either.
I'm not either.
When I was young, a friend of mine had a scooter, and that thing had some power.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it had power.
Yeah.
So wait a minute. The motorcycle community is like hating on Vespas?
Not really. I mean, sometimes I'll wait. It just depends on the mood I'm in,
So it's not so much the community as it is Greg, because he just said it depends on the mood I'm in. So.
Greg's the pretentious one.
Look, if you're fully geared up on a scooter and stuff, I have more respect for you, especially if it's a faster scooter or whatever. But if you're out there, it's called a squid. If you don't have gear on or whatever, you call it a squid, because basically you're vulnerable. Like you have no.
Oh, okay.
At least my group. Now the Harley riders, the cruiser riders in general, probably don't look at it the same way. But in the sport bike community, if you're not wearing gear, you're an idiot. I mean, and for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that makes sense.
You got to wear your safety gear. Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how many people don't understand that.
Well, to me, it would be so silly not to get on a bike and put on because I have boots that I wear when we're on the Harley because it gets hot. I got boots that I wear. I don't wear a vest or anything, but I do wear my helmet, and my helmet has a shield. All of those things. You got to protect the noggin. So to me, that's common sense. But
yeah, I mean, we have a pretty strict gear policy at the Texas A&M Motorcycle Club where I started, really started riding.
He's part of a motorcycle gang.
Of course, we all are. Yeah. But in our 50, 60 year history or something like that, we have not had a fatal crash because of that.
Awesome.
Now we've had people get injured occasionally,
awesome.
but yeah.
That's the good part. So I got to give the disclaimer too. I'm not hating on Jeeps. I just didn't want to be part of the group anymore. I didn't know that you automatically, I didn't know having the Jeep automatically puts you in this little society. So I just opted out. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So Andrey, what were you like as a kid? Like growing up, what was that like?
So I was very competitive in everything. I still am. Education driven.
Did you like sports competitive or?
Always.
Okay. What kind of sports?
So as a kid, I was the captain of the volleyball team. I played professional soccer. After
Nice.
school, I actually used to wrestle in the wrestling team, and basketball just for a few months. It wasn't my thing.
Greg was a menace. Yeah.
You're going to mention that every podcast now.
Every podcast. Greg was a menace. I don't know Brandon, what were you like as a kid?
I wasn't a menace.
Greg admitted he was a menace.
He did. I remember.
Never going to let me live it down.
We had a long conversation about that.
Yeah, he admitted he was a menace.
Yeah.
I wasn't a menace. I just grew up in the woods.
Me too,
Just we had a lot of farmland, and I grew up with a bunch of wild cousins and
Barefoot and dirt roads.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a pretty country upbringing, and it was kind of weird because looking back now, I didn't think we were missing out on anything, but I guess we were, but I didn't know it. I had a great childhood. So
my family had a farm. So
oh, really?
I experienced both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew any vegetable or fruit you can imagine. My grandparents had pigs, chickens, rabbits.
We had
different animals.
cows. My grandmother hated chickens. I don't know what her problem was with chickens. My great grandmother had chickens.
Maybe because they stink.
It could be.
They do stink.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to hate chickens, to be
It
honest.
takes a lot
You
to
have
clean.
chickens.
I know. That's why I'm saying.
But I tell you what, though, they make it delicious.
They make I was my great grandmother. It was kind of weird because growing up, I guess we never bought meat, and I guess I never noticed that until I grew up, and I was like, where do I get meat? But we had cattle.
Yeah.
So
you grew your own.
There was always meat, and then I grew up, and I'm like, I got to go to the store to buy meat? What? Because it was always in the deep freeze. And of course we hunted and stuff. And,
right.
We always had something that we had killed or, whatever the case may be. But,
yeah. Did you hunt in Bulgaria?
Both.
Okay.
Ooh, what do you hunt in Bulgaria?
Same stuff that you hunt here.
White-tailed deer? Do they have, or is it probably different?
I think they've got red
deer.
Yeah.
That beautiful spike. My kids call it Bambi. I hope they don't see this. They love that type of deer.
Oh, okay.
But, that's the type of deer we have.
Do y'all have the big hogs over there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
They're huge.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you kill any of those?
Of course.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I did.
Were they as pervasive as they are here?
So, yes and no, because they get hunted so much.
Right.
They don't get out of control like here.
I don't know what the current hog situation, or do we?
Oh, yeah, we have hogs.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was continuing, to get worse.
Out at Kisatchie, out at Kisatchie, but it's because you have regulations out at Kisatchie, and that's where the biggest problem is, and a lot of that's government land. You can't just go out there and eliminate the problem because
and they reproduce basically on exponential rate. I mean, you can have a big sow that can have a litter like every 3 or 4 months. Well, by the time she's pregnant with her second or third litter, the first litter is already having their own.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't get ahead of that.
But a few years back, I believe the Louisiana government opened it up to where
Yes.
they can be hunted.
Yes, all year round.
Everybody gets down south.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It got really
And certain
bad.
times of the year now, you can hunt them at night here.
It just dawned on
And
me.
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
They opened it up, I believe, for automatic weapons and at night
Yeah.
a few years back.
It just
From
dawned
what
on me that I
remember.
know helicopter people, and there's nothing that I would love more than to get whatever's legal.
We've got a
Semi-automatic weapon and just like murk some hogs from the air.
Well,
That
we-
would be so cool.
Well, we bought a night vision scope for our AR as well to hunt hogs.
Wow.
Now you probably can't mix those two. You probably can't do night vision scope with the helicopter.
Greg, you don't listen.
Who's going to say anything?
What are they going to do? Pull you over? I'm just kidding. For legal purposes, this is a joke.
FAA has entered the chat.
Yeah, FAA. We're going to be getting an email. So, who influenced you the most as you were growing up? Who had the most influence on who you became?
So my whole family, actually. Like I said, I was very educational driven. My mom was a school principal. Both of my grandmas were school teachers. My father was retired military. So I got influence on both sides.
Oh, okay. So did you join the military?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you didn't join the military. Okay, but your dad is a veteran.
Yes.
Okay, and he served the Army, Marines, Navy.
So I don't even know if I can say what he did.
Oh, okay. You don't have. No, we don't want to be. We don't want to be on any list, Andre.
But I got influence from both sides.
Oh, that's great though.
Yeah, my father and my mom both taught me respect, stick to your values, make sure that you help when you can, and that's how I live my life.
Oh, I like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think military parents, which I don't have military parents, but I had my grandpa was a farmer and my dad was the son of a farmer. So I think military parents raise some of the best kids because it's like they have, such a structure. Yeah. Structure is the word I'm looking for. You got to get up, you got to do this, you got to do that, and I think that's good. Structure is really good for kids. And, it's kind of the same as a farmer, except I don't think it's as, stoic. Like the military makes people a little bit stoic sometimes, which is fine. But the structure part of it, I've always, and I think military kids always adapt as well to new situations, different situations, new people, because you don't have an option but to make friends.
Yes.
And you have to make new friends every couple of years, which is probably really hard. I don't think people talk about that enough.
Definitely making friends is really hard.
Yeah.
Any of us.
Right.
Yeah, especially making good friends.
Yes.
Someone that is genuine and that will be there for you.
Yeah. And so y'all moved a lot when you were younger? Yeah. Yeah. And that's always, but that gives you life experience, right? That makes
definitely.
It makes it easier for you to meet people, talk to people, because that was the thing that I noticed when my brother joined the Navy is we went to Chicago to see him graduate from the academy and stuff. And everybody in Chicago was so rude. So rude. I'm not even, and I know it's not rude to them. It's just so different from the South.
Different culture.
It's a completely different culture up there, but except for the military. And everybody in the military was very nice, very welcoming, and willing to engage in conversations. Because, we're Southern. We talk to everybody. You get in, you're sharing a taxi with somebody. They do not speak to you, even if you speak to them first. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
And if you're driving, good luck.
The best thing that happened was, yeah. Well, the third taxi driver we got was from New Orleans. And I was like, do you have a card? Because he was great. And it was like being at home, and he was like, do you have a card? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to call you every time I want to go somewhere. And he was like, I'll come get you. And he did. And he was our cab driver for the whole time we were there because everybody was so rude, but except for the military. And that just showed me that the military had been conditioned to be friendly and make friends with people because they're in situations all the time where they're with unfamiliar people. So I think that's an advantage, whether they realize it or not when they're growing up. I think it's an advantage to people.
Definitely, yes.
Because you learn how to communicate and make friends and learn how to, mingle with people and try to figure things out without, being ostracized from everybody. I think that's a really important thing to have, because I do try to, I never try to exclude anybody or make anybody feel left out. I always want to, make sure that we include everybody in conversations, and I think that's really important to people.
And that's how I am too.
Yeah.
That is very important.
It is. It's important to make, even if you don't agree with people, I think it's important to have them at the table, because a lot of times when you're in big groups of people, and Greg may agree with me here, when you're on boards and things like that, and you're having open discussions,
I guess my opinion don't count. She didn't include me.
No, your opinion. But so Brandon is a firefighter, so his stuff applies here too. Because when you're in a,
now she's just trying to make me feel better.
No, I'm just being serious. Like, you get in situations or you're having conversations, and inevitably even if you do not agree with this person, somebody in that room is going to give you a perspective that you have never thought about before.
Right.
Yes.
And it happens all the time. Somebody will ask a question and I'll be like, dang, I never thought about that. Like somebody, it's great.
And he may be the one that deals with the most of these situations as a firefighter.
Yes.
Because in the chaos of a fire, there's a million things going on. And you have the person affected screaming on top of their lungs, unhappy. So you got to deal with this while you're putting that fire. So definitely he deals with a lot.
He does. Yeah. He does. And, he's former law enforcement too. So that does help in those situations. So it's, I like to have conversations with as many people as I can. Cause I always, like Greg, when we first met, he was really quiet. Super quiet. And, and then inevitably when we're doing these podcasts, he always asks a question and I'm like, man, I didn't think about that, because everybody has their own, focus. So I think that's why it's important to bring so many people to the table and hear everybody out. It's important. So what made you decide that you were going to run for mayor?
Before I answer that question, that tells you that he's listening and he's calculating the situation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't talk to fill empty space, but, and you'll notice a lot of the times in the podcast, I'm quiet for the first 20, 30 minutes, and taking everything in and then thinking and then asking, more questions.
I feel all the dead air.
I know. It's a good.
So I'm kind of a similar way like this. I actually pay attention to everything and everyone. I listen to everybody, and I do kind of judge the situation in my mind. Okay, is this something that I can help with? Is this something I can give advice to?
It's been my experience, though, that most of the time, if you just step back and be quiet and watch, you learn more like that.
Yeah.
I have the will. I just don't have the ability.
Because as Greg says, I know.
Some situations is out of our hands.
Right.
So you have to be able to step back and understand and see if you can help, if you can give an advice, or if you need to refer that to someone else. That's very important that not many people do.
Yeah, so, and you need both, because especially on something like this, like a podcast, because otherwise it'd just be us two sitting here thinking.
Yeah. Get a lot of dead air, huh?
Lots of dead air.
Yeah. Well, I think that comes too with the radio, though, because you can't have dead air on the radio, so you do have to keep the back and forth going. Yeah. So it just when I very first started, I wasn't very good at it because I was off mic, but when I was on mic, I'm like, what do I talk about? And the truth is that you can really kind of talk about anything. And there's the audience is listening.
Well, too, on the radio, though, you're in the studio by yourself most of the time. And
nobody can punch you in the mouth for what you say.
That's true. They can't. But it's hard to carry on a conversation with just yourself.
It is. It is. Well, and it helps, too, that I love music. So, like, when you're doing that and you're listening to your music and you have your little breaks, and it's only like 15 minutes at a time. So that skill develops over time.
Right.
To be able, and I'm sure Cody's really good at it, too. Y'all can't see him, but Cody's brother is off camera over here. Lee, he's joining us today. And we might need to collab in the future. Just get us all in one room.
That'd be fun.
And just see what happens. Like everybody bring their mics and we'll just see what happens. That could probably be epic. Like, there's no telling.
Hey, you know what? That's what I was trying to achieve. I actually invited the whole crew. And I told them, I said, there's another podcast in town. And they were like, who? So I told them, I said, I got invited. I got messaged. And I was telling them about it. Josh was supposed to be with us, but he had some business to attend to. So Lee was kind enough to come, but I was trying to get you guys together. So maybe one day,
we can
one big podcast.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, we have at least four extra mics, but
we do.
As y'all, well, the original ones.
Jessica's fixed to fill this room up.
But
that's what I'm talking about.
As y'all have probably figured out, like once you get over about 4 mics, it starts getting a little hairier as far as audio equipment. It's like we may need another couple thousand in audio gear before we can support that many people.
Oh, you know what I forgot to ask? Okay, so I asked
Let me answer the question first.
Okay.
Yes, I don't want to interrupt you, but you did ask what made me run.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not a politician. I mean, I just want to make that clear. However, for the last year and a half, community members that know me, that have either worked with me or I helped, have approached me and asked me to put my name into the hat. And they brought many issues. And I'm not a person to just listen to someone and take it for what it is. I actually go out and verify for myself.
Right.
Because anybody can tell you anything, but whether it's true or not, then that's on you to verify. And lots of those issues that they have brought to me, I verified for myself. And then I had some personal experiences that kind of solidified my decision to put my name in the hat for the mayor race. I did talk to my family, talk to my wife. I got their full support, and they said, just do it. We do have to make a change, simply because we're on the wrong path. Okay, we have room to improve and make it better for everybody.
Yeah.
Leesville, on paper, should be 3 times the size it is. Okay, we have the 3rd biggest military training base in the U.S., but yet we're shrinking. Okay, we're losing our youth, we're losing our businesses.
It's a big problem.
So it's mind-boggling. Why is this happening? The Reader, which is 20 miles down the road, is expanding. It just doesn't make sense. And then combined with the issues that everybody is bringing to me, has brought to me in the past, it kind of starts to make sense.
So what do you see as the top kind of 2 or 3 causes of the direction that we're headed?
So I can tell you, number one, and I don't like to talk about people, I don't like to talk about anybody, but as of this point of time, our community is completely disconnected from the city hall administration. Okay. The community doesn't know what they're doing. The city hall is not listening, and they don't know what the community needs or wants from them. Okay. So that's the number one thing that's causing the disconnect and the communication issues that we're having. Second, we're not business friendly. Okay. I know for the last 26, going on 27 years, many businesses have tried to come to Leesville, and none succeeded. That's because there's certain people fighting against this. And like I said, with Fort Polk here, we should be expanding. We should have way more than what we have. And it's mind-boggling, why not?
I have had this conversation with every candidate about the disconnect. So I ran for city council. What is this year? 2026?
26.
Yeah. So I ran for city council in 2022.
Okay.
And I have been to every meeting but 3 for those 4 years. And maybe 3 or 4 meetings I've missed. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to, because nobody knew who I was. No, absolutely nobody knew who I was when I ran. And of course, this year I went in unopposed. So I didn't have any opposition. So I'll be sworn in what is it, June?
June.
but I don't know how to bridge the gap. And that it is some of the responsibility lays with and it's not just the city, it's the local governments, period. Because if you're not involved as a citizen, you have no idea what's going on. And you have to be at those meetings to be involved. But some of the responsibility also lies on the community for not getting involved. So I don't know how to bridge the gap.
What time do the meetings happen?
So the meetings happen for the city at 3:00 on the second and fourth Monday of every month.
Okay, so I agree. I think you guys talked about that on.
So that's the biggest issue. Okay.
It needs to happen outside.
Every time I went is because I was, as a manager, my days off change.
Right.
So I was off on that day. Otherwise, it's impossible for me to go. Working families cannot attend that.
Yep.
Okay? The process has to change. Not only that, and this is my view, just you can give me your opinion after that, but the website that the city government has at this time is horrible. You go on there, you try to find something, or you try to, like simple stuff, like events. It takes you sometimes 30, 40 minutes just to find simple information, not to mention finding a form that you may need to fill. So that needs to be revamped.
Okay.
The meetings, they need to change.
So I've asked the question about the meetings being at 3:00 because when I was doing news, I went to a lot of meetings because that was my job, and I asked the question about the meetings being at 3:00, and the answer that I got was that when the meetings were held after hours, there was no more attendance than there was at the 3:00 meetings. There was no more attendance than what they have now.
The only thing they ran into then was having to pay everybody to stay open.
Correct. The second problem was all of the staff has to be there, the department heads, et cetera, et cetera. So they have to pay them extra to be there to attend the meetings, plus the attorney, if they're in. So that was where they were running into a fiscal issue, because then they're having to pay overtime, et cetera, et cetera. All of which I try to see everything from every angle and figure out the best solution. But oftentimes I don't know if people know when the meetings are. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I was going to say. You forgot to ask them what time frame they were referring to, because nowadays everything is technology. This podcast is about to air. Okay, we have AI. So if you inform the public, and I heard that a million times, the law allows us to announce it 48 hours in advance, and that's what we're doing. But what are you doing above and beyond to hear from those community members? You serve the community as an elected official, and you telling me you're just doing the basic minimum. That's telling me as a community member, you don't care to hear from me, because you put it on that little screen in front of City Hall 48 hours early, meeting at such time. Most people don't pay attention when they come by.
So I have talked to our state legislators about this. And because they're the people that have to make those changes. City can't make those changes. And it wasn't anything city related, actually. It was, so what happened was at some point, every 10 years, everybody has to redistrict. They have to count the population in their areas, make sure everybody's population is even, and adjust accordingly. I'm not saying there's no gerrymandering. I'm just saying it's not a situation, like it's not a dishonest situation. It has to happen every 10 years.
Wait, but what does that have to do with
You're talking about the census?
Yeah, we're talking about the notifications
I get
of the
it.
meetings.
This is what I was getting to. So a lot of people went to go vote in that election after that redistricting happened, and they had no idea it had happened, and they weren't at that voting district anymore. They hadn't been notified. So they show up to their regular voting district that they voted at for the last 10 years, and they're like, hey, so where are we supposed to go? They had no idea. They had been redistricted. So I go and inquire, and it was not the city. I need to stress that. But I go and inquire about the redistricting and all that, and they were like, oh, well, we put a notice on the door. And I was just like,
They expect everybody to come by
it
and
the
read the door.
1800s?
Wait, but is this?
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue.
that is
But is
all.
this about
is
the
the
regularly scheduled?
Yes,
city
because
meetings?
anything that's on the agenda, and I do think it's antiquated, and I don't think that's any one person's fault or the current administration's fault. The way that it's slated is they put a notice on the front of their building that this is when the meeting is and this is what the agenda is, and they have to do that within 48 hours prior.
So you either either go by and read the door, or you just don't know.
That's correct.
But there's nothing stopping you of going above and beyond.
Right.
And go further than the 48 hours.
Correct.
And that's why
And you don't even have to post the agenda like more than 48. You can stick to the agenda at 48 hours because it can be tough to turn around an agenda.
Yeah.
you
Now
know.
the meeting times don't change.
Right, but they need to be front and center somewhere. You know, basically the city needs to do a better job of promoting itself and
Exactly.
its events.
and
is I think
that's
what we're
how
saying.
you're going to get the community involvement because most of them, they don't slow down. They don't look at that board in front of them.
That's correct.
I've talked to so many community members and I've invited them to those meetings, and the only answer I ever get, we don't know those meetings are happening. When are they happening? So when I tell them and when I tell them where they posted, that's the answer I'm getting. I don't even look at this.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
And we spoke to LaFonda about this at length as well, from the technical side too, because LaFonda was a software engineer and database administrator, and I'm a previous software engineer in the tech space. But we talked about kind of what it would take to set up, a shared calendar for one thing is a very easy thing to set up. One that people can click a button, download, and it appear as a calendar they can, toggle on and off right on their phone.
We even
That's
talked
an
about the
easy step,
possibility
right?
of
In text message notifications.
in text messaging, like notifications about bowl advisories,
Like a Nixle.
Yeah, like a Nixle alert. and I don't think I think those are great ideas. I really do. And the reason I say these things is because there was a time when I was on the other side of the fence and I was constantly fussing about things that were going on. And somebody literally said to me, "Are you going to bitch about it? Are you going to do something about it?" So I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's when I started getting involved. And it was really hard navigating in the beginning because I didn't, now I know, but to navigate in the beginning, I was just like, okay, what's going on? What are we doing? And I think being able to clearly communicate with the public what's happening and how to go about things, I do think that is majorly important. Even if it's, because we even talked about the possibility, for instance, the police jury gets picked on a lot. Because people are like, oh, they don't do anything with the roads. The problem is if you live in Leesville and they're doing, $15 million worth of road work in Pitkin, you're never going to see it, so because you don't live in Pitkin.
Yes.
So there are things happening. You just don't always see them. And to me, I think that you should be highlighting those things. And it's even if you send out a text message, even if you post it on social media, hey, our crews are out here doing this, no matter how mundane the project is, I think it should be highlighted, and I guess that's up to, whoever's in charge at the time. But I've always been a huge advocate for just put the information out there, just put it out, let people say what they're going to say and then go from there. That way, at least you can document what you're doing.
That's exactly what I mean. Today's technology, you can do so much more to put the word out, to communicate. That's how you're going to get the community involved. When they feel that you're listening to them, you're communicating, there's open communication, yes, people will be unhappy. Some of them will be happy. You cannot make anybody.
You can't make everybody happy.
Make everybody happy. However, once you show them that you're willing to listen and work with the community and involve them in those decisions, there will be more participation. And as of right now, we don't have this. City Hall doesn't know what the community needs or wants. The community doesn't know what City Hall is doing. Right?
So, as a resident of Leesville, whether you were running for mayor or not, did you have social media before you ran for mayor?
I did.
You did. Okay.
And
but did you check it? You closed it. Okay.
I closed it a few years back.
So would you be upset by a text message coming to your phone? Hey, there's a boil advisory on this street. or these street. You wouldn't be bothered.
That'll help me.
Okay. I wasn't sure because sometimes people get upset about that stuff.
No, why would I? That'll make me safer.
Yeah, 100%. And also, like, when you start aggregating these different data sources, maybe one is boil advisories, maybe one is community events or city events, and then community events.
Yeah,
and you could have all these as categories, and on the Leesville city page, you could log in and manage your subscriptions. If you want to sign up for only some sorts of text messages and not others, and you should be able to do that. I mean, it's not a big lift from a technical standpoint.
Correct. Well, and we had talked about the possibility of on the website putting like a tab of what's being done right now, because again, if you live on, if you live
on this side,
you're not know what's going on the other side.
Now, another thing I need to add to that whole thing, how to fix it. I am, if elected, also planning on maybe have some type of either live chat or live feed to community members that are not able to attend in person, because it's
like
very
the
important.
Council meetings and stuff you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, because it's very important for, like I said, for everybody to feel included and everybody to speak up their mind and tell us what their issues is.
At this time, it's not required by law. I think that all public meetings should be publicly live streamed. That's just my personal opinion. If it's a public meeting, you should be able, because as a news person, there were some days where I would have 5 community meetings in one day. I cannot be at all 5. So it was easy for me to go back and watch the stream so that I could know what had happened and put out the news,
And that's exactly what I mean. All big corporations are doing it.
Yes.
You have a meeting he cannot attend, but me, you, and him can attend. It will be recorded for him to watch later.
Yes.
So he's aware and he's involved in some type of way of what is going on. Because if he doesn't know that this ever happened, then how do you expect him to be involved? There's no way. But if he does know what's going on, later on he can come back and say, okay, I agree with this, and this, but this is my issue.
Right.
And then we can go from there.
Yeah. I think it's very important. I think adapting to the technology that we have available is important. And
we have a lot nowadays.
Yeah. Do y'all remember when that stuff used to be live streamed on the TV? We used to get like meetings on the TV. I remember it was like Channel 3. It was the local channel or whatever. And you would get...
I remember Channel 3 was cable Channel 3.
You would get the meetings. And I don't remember because I was too young, but we used to get... I'm pretty sure it was city council meetings, but we would get them on Channel 3 because I would remember the people talking on there. And of course I was a kid, so it was boring. But somebody in my house was watching it at least. So that means that they were trying to engage in what was going on, and I think we've lost that element. I completely...
Definitely we lost that.
I think that we can engage more, and I think that there are some things that we can do. Because myself personally, I am currently struggling with how do I go and meet every person in my district. Like
you just need to spend a day with me.
Like, how do I go do that? How do I tell them, like part of me has been like, okay, well, do I mail out something to them and be like, hey, I went in and opposed. This is my phone number. Please call me, text me with any information that you feel like I need to, you know what I'm saying?
No, you should have talked to me. Should have talked to me. Look, when my dad ran for state representative, I did a mass text campaign with him. So, like, for every registered voter, like the voting record is public.
Yes.
So you could take that and send out mass texts.
Right.
And it's so much cheaper than mailers. I mean, we had to send out mass comms when Dad retired from the clinic, because you're required under law to tell people where they can get their medical records and all that sort of stuff. And so it just pulled numbers and did a mass text campaign. I mean, it takes like a day to set up.
Back in the day, as my child says when he's talking to me about old stuff, you would hold a rally. But now you run into the same issue we discussed a while back,
yes.
Community involvement. You can hold a rally and 6 people show up, you've not accomplished anything.
Everything's online now.
Everything's online.
Everything's online.
Yeah.
One of the girls that's running that came down and talked to us, she actually had scheduled 2 town halls, and she went door to door telling everybody in her district about them, sending out text messages, like telling nobody showed up.
And the ones that did are the same ones that show up to every the same 2 or 3 people that show up to the council meetings.
Do is we're going to have to start offering food.
I'll come. I don't even live in the city. I'll come for
I
that.
was actually planning on doing a cookout.
Yeah,
that was one thing that I was planning on. I'm still planning on doing it. I just have.
I'm
to
seeing a remote in our future.
I'm just saying.
I just have to complete the logistics and the promotional part.
I think food is what brings people together.
I did put on my campaign page, Andrey for Leesville, that I am planning on grading meat, and I am planning a cookout. I'm just working on everything coming together before I announce the place, the time, and everything.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. We need to start giving people free food.
Food and music, people will come.
Free food and music. Yeah. But I do think that it's because a lot of times Facebook is, because that's where everybody goes for their information. But a lot of times it works against you because like things will happen and then people are like, I didn't know this was happening, until it's already over with. Mm-hmm. So it does work against you. But I also think that anything that's on the Facebook also needs to be put on the website so that you can constantly check that website as well.
Yeah, I think the shared calendar. I don't want to go to the website. I don't want to go to the website. That's so 2008.
That's so 2008.
The city website.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the city website.
That's cringe.
I don't want to go to any city's website.
I was there 2 days ago. I kid you not. It took me 40 minutes just to find the next event that's coming up.
Right.
It needs to be revamped. I mean, with technology nowadays, there's no excuse why that website is the way it is.
Sorry about that, Greg.
No, you're good.
So I agree with you, Greg.
Yeah, it should. I mean, look, this is like technology we've had for a while. It needs to just show up on our calendar, and you can toggle it on and off.
Yeah,
like this is,
and that has to change. The only way I can see why we're still at that situation is either someone doesn't care, or they are purposely not doing it.
Yeah, and
one reason or another.
And that's what I was going to say is I don't know what the current administration's priorities are. There are other priorities. I think this is just a matter of like, hey, we're here. It's 2026. It's time to make this a priority.
Yes.
Not saying that it's a lack of ability or priority on previous administrations or whatever. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it's time to make technology
Definitely.
And communication a priority.
Definitely.
I think.
Catch up with the times.
Yeah, I think. Well, and I think it takes two, and I mean this in the most respectful way possible. What I'm about to say, I think it also takes younger generations to make that happen. I think that, like to the generation above us, I think they're used to the way things always were, so they're not adapting to what we're adapting to. Because they just, that's not the way they've done it.
And that's why I just say they either don't care.
Yeah.
Or they just.
This is just lack of interest.
Yeah. I think it's, it takes people wanting to communicate and wanting to make sure that we're up with the times, quote unquote, because I really think that's the disconnect, because right now I can probably name 5 or 6 elected officials that will be like, hey, what's your email? And they're going to have to go look for it because they, what I'm saying?
Don't name them.
No, I won't name them. I love them, but that's just the nature of it, and it's like, and it's, that's just the way it's been for them.
Right.
Well,
Yes.
And I think it's interesting because, I mean, I struggle a little bit with just email in general in the past few years. Email and just regular phone calls have become so much less reliable because you have a couple things at play. There's like the increase in spam calls.
Yes.
And then, Apple and probably some of the other OSs and stuff have started adding, pretty sophisticated call filtering, but a lot of times stuff can get trapped up in that. And it's like the only thing that I'm kind of left with, and email's been a nightmare. It's like,
it's been a nightmare.
It's terrible. Like if you need to get in contact with me, like pretty much text me. I hate to say it. Text me.
Don't call me because I'm not going to answer the phone.
So I gotta say, I like to speak to people in person. I'm the type of person I am.
I do too.
communication is really big for me. It has made me successful over the years. However, with my email, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Everything is set to go to my junk mail because of how much junk I
Yes.
get.
And it's just that, it's
day.
junk.
I kid you not, there's at least like anywhere from 200 to 300 junk mails in my email. So everything automatically goes there. And in the morning when I drink coffee, I'll go through them and move what needs to go to inbox.
Right.
Yeah.
And delete everything else.
It's like inverted of what it should be.
I
Yeah.
kid you not. Somebody the other day asked me, "What's your fax number?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?"
Y'all don't have a fax, do you?
We do, but I haven't used it since 2010. I mean,
I bet
it's
you
still
those
there.
five official will know the fax number before they email.
Well, and it doesn't even have to be elected officials. Like,
I bet Galen knows that number.
If I ask my dad right now, like, what's his email, he's going to have to go look. He has no idea. So I do think the answer is sending that information as a text message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like in some sort of alert.
And we do have sort of a mixed population here. So it's like, I mean, with
Correct.
with the clinic comms thing too, it was like we kind of had to account for that. You know, it's like you do have to kind of cover all areas in some regards. I think
Yes.
even the older generations now, though, are pretty much on board. But like pretty much everybody, no matter how old you are, has a
They
cell
have
phone.
Facebook, that's for sure.
Yeah,
That's
true.
Look, I was going to lunch yesterday and someone stopped me and I was like, "I seen you on Facebook." I was like, "Okay." I said, "You running for mayor?" I said, "Yes, I am." So we talked. I spent half my lunch talking and stuff, issues they brought to me. I speak to people every single day. People bring issues to me every single day in person. And then when I'm not at work, I actually go and meet with people in the community and speak to them in person. You probably see on my 10 line from up here, I have 10 down here. It looks funny when I take my shirt off, but it's just the type of person I am. It doesn't matter how you approach me, whether you call me, you message me, or you stop and talk to me in person. I'm always going to stop and talk to you. And if you need help, if I'm able to, I will help. That's just the type of person I am.
So how do you handle, because obviously if elected, you're going to have people that come at you, out of the side of their neck. How do you handle disagreements with people like that without making enemies?
So the same
I
way,
struggle with that. That's why I'm asking.
I've dealt with that for a long time in management. So, of course, you're not going to make everybody happy. But when you explain yourself why you're doing certain things, then you spend the time and you show these people that, yes, this is what you need, this is what you want, but at this time, because of this, and this, you're not able to achieve it. Then they actually sit there and think about it. That's how you gain their respect. And although they may still feel unhappy, they will be able to understand. That's how I do it every single day at work. Believe me, I go through these situations at least 100 a day. So once you explain what is the reason you're doing certain things, and you go in details to where they're able to understand, then that's how you dissolve the situation.
Yeah, there was this instance, and of course, I'm sure Brandon's well versed in this instance, when not too long ago, 171 was under construction. Not the traffic circle, but that's included as well. 171 was being redone a few years back. And everybody was on Facebook and calling City Hall and all that stuff, and
that's state, isn't it?
It 100% is the state.
And the heavens open. The city has nothing to do with that.
No dog in that fight whatsoever.
But no, everybody should know.
No, they don't.
If it says state highway.
You'll be
on the
surprised.
signs.
They called the police jury. They were calling the city. They were calling all these people upset about what was going on. And it's a state highway. And then you see the comments on Facebook and you explain to them that it's a state highway. And I literally got told, If I'm lying, I'm dying. I got told it does not matter if it's a state highway. It's inside the city limits. Therefore, it was the city's responsibility.
And it don't just stop there. They're building a 7 brew in Leesville. You've seen that. And I can't count the comments that I've saw of people blaming the city of Leesville for putting a coffee shop next to another coffee shop. Leesville didn't have nothing to do with that.
Well, and we're a capitalist country. You can't tell people what they can put on on the property that they purchase. There's nothing. All you can do is say, here's the check boxes, check them off, and do what it is you're going to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
You can't fix stupid.
No, you can't. But I tell you what you can do. You can numb the hell out of it with a 2x4.
Was that Ron that said it? You can't pick stupid. Was it Larry? Who said it?
It was Ron.
That was Ron White. Yeah.
Ron White. Yeah.
What's that? Oh, he knows. I just asked Brandon outside before we came in. I was like, "What's a corn dog doing in the ocean?" I love Bill Engvall.
But
I love
also,
corn dogs.
But also, can you fix stupid? Is that education budget? Let's move to education.
No.
It's our segue.
You can fix ignorance. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But stupid.
Yeah,
it's forever.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So on the education front, I don't think we've talked about education. Now, I know that's not, but we have a whole education board and stuff and all of that, right? But I don't know what. And part of this will just be educate me and the rest of the listeners who may not know, what kind of involvement would the mayor have in our educational system?
We have a mayor's youth council at Leesville High School. And I'm president of the Mayor's Women's Commission, which is why I know that.
As I was going to say, that's parish.
That's correct. That's correct.
But not parish school board.
Now, when the school board is doing something, we do support. Like the city would go out and support, and there's a lot of resolutions that get passed in support of things to support the schools and whatever the case may be. But on the whole, the
decisions is there.
Yeah, the decision.
So you can support. Yeah, but the decision is ultimately on the parish.
Yeah.
How are we sitting from an educational standpoint?
We have one of the best parish-wide school systems.
I was going to say, I thought that because that used to be a big problem, but I know that we've made a lot of headway in that area.
So we made lots of progress.
Yeah. Yes,
definitely. Yeah.
And it's so sad because we're pumping out some of the state's greatest educated children and some of the best athletes out of this parish, and they're all leaving and never coming back.
And we're closing the schools.
That's one of the things I'm trying to change. I do have 3 kids, okay? And I dread the day my kids will want to leave.
Yeah.
Someone said the other day to me, Leesville is a dying town. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're beyond the point of no return.
I don't think so either.
We can turn it around. We can make it better for everybody. We can expand, and we can make future for our kids to where they want to stay.
Well, give them a reason to stay. Right now, what's to keep them here?
Nothing.
Exactly.
We don't have youth programs. We don't help develop the workforce. We simply shun them away to where they're out in the streets doing stupid stuff.
That's right.
Instead of actually
trying to be productive. Exactly.
And want to stay here and have a future. So we have to change that around. I mean, like I said, I have 3 kids, and I hate the day that'll come and they tell me they're going somewhere else.
Yeah, so, and as a parent, of a teenager, it's coming. Yes. My daughter has expressed the desire to be in forensics, and there's no job for her here. There's
right now, no.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing here for her to do that in. Yeah. And I mean, she's still young, so she changes her mind, every week about what she wants to do. But aside from the attorney one, nothing that she
How old is she?
She's about to be 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have, like I said, 3 kids, a 9-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 16-year-old. They're about to be 10, 15, and 17. My 16-year-old go to LSMSA, the school.
Oh, yeah, Natchitoches, yeah.
In Natchitoches. She was invited last year to attend it. So she was invited to several schools like this in different states. And I wasn't willing to let her go to Washington, D.C. or Boston.
It's like, no, you're staying here.
Even Texas. So Nagadish is, I believe, either second or third in the nation as far as
it's a very good program.
Yes, and she's doing great.
Good for her.
So she does have a few future careers in mind. And the good thing about this school is they work with most colleges and universities around the U.S. They help you. And we've been getting tons of little pamphlets from different universities from all over the U.S.
I'm an LSMSA alumni as well. So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah.
My niece finished LSMSA in 2021, so she's studying to be a doctor too.
I graduated in 2014 from LSMSA, so I was before they built the nice new dorms.
So that's why my daughter is in the nice new dorms. Yeah. My niece was in the old ones. I kid you not, I thought that was a condemned building until they finally condemned it.
Yeah. It should have been, huh?
Yes.
I mean, we were like stomping, roaches and stuff in the showers, and like it was I
bad. Saw the same thing when my niece moved in. I was like, hold on, are we at the right place?
I'll tell you what though, is it set such a good expectation for me for college that by the time I got to college, it was like anywhere, man, this is great. Like this is so nice.
It's all an improvement from where you were.
Everything was an improvement. So my standards were,
your standards were on the floor.
On the floor. I had no problem.
You were limboing with your standards.
Yeah. I mean, when I look at the first, like at the apartment that I got when I was a freshman in college, now I'm like, ooh, but back then I was like, hell yeah. It's my own space, no roommate, it was a nice place.
But definitely we need to make something that can give these kids a future here.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So we need to do something. We need to turn it around.
Yeah. I'm hoping in the future, because there are some things coming down the pipeline with some of our colleges here. And we have a regular college, we have community colleges, and there's things coming down the pipeline for both of those. I'm hoping that that will bring big things. If those of you that are listening that don't know, we do have Sewella Community College here, and they offer a lot of courses here in Leesville. And if for some reason you're into aviation or something, they have a campus right there in Lake Charles. If you are into aviation, what is today? Oh, it'll be past the time by then. But even for next year, there is a local EAA chapter here that does a scholarship program. I think we give out a $2,000 scholarship. So please, if you can contact me for that for next year. This year's applications have already been submitted. So, but I mean, we do have some programs here, and of course we have Northwestern. But I think a lot of times we're not emphasizing what we do have. There's a lot of lack of that as well. So it's like when I found out everything that Sewella offered here, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know we had all that here. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I know you currently work in the City Hall, but what do you do?
Oh no, I don't work at City Hall.
That's why I see.
Yeah, no, I own an automotive shop and a tow company.
Okay.
Yeah. No, when I ran for office the first time, I swore that whether I lost or not, I was going to be involved.
So you just attend the meetings?
I'd attend every meeting. I don't miss a meeting.
That's great, because I was under the impression you actually worked there.
No, I do not work there.
Every time I see you, I was like, I don't know what she does.
No, I just said that I'm going to be involved. And I told them, I was like, I may lose, but I'm not going to go away. I was like, I want to be involved. Use me however you want to. If you got boards you need me to be on, put me on them. If I don't win, I want to be involved. I want to help. Because
so are you on any board?
I'm the outgoing president of the Planning and Zoning Board. When I swear in, I will have to resign from that board because I cannot be an elected official and on that board. And then that's all for the city. That's the only board I'm on for the city. So I mean, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed being involved. I've enjoyed learning these last 4 years.
That's great.
And it's a lot of learning. And it's hard to be involved too, because then people put you in the same category as everybody else and they don't care. And the fact of the matter is I do care. And I take a lot of butt chewings and I'll take more, because I'm not going to sit here and say that we're doing everything right, because I think that we do. There are some things we got wrong. And if you can't admit that you're wrong, or at least acknowledge there's room for improvement, even if it wasn't wrong, then you're not growing as a person.
So that's exactly right. You have to have self-accountability.
Yeah.
That's how you hold others accountable.
That's correct.
And then at the same time, lots of people misunderstand when someone is upset, and I've learned that over the years in management, when someone is upset, they're screaming in your face. They're not mad at you. They're not upset at you. They're upset at the situation they're in.
Right. Yes.
And if you misunderstand this, then it makes it that much worse, because at that point, that person knows that you don't care, you don't want to help them, you don't want to even listen to what they have to say.
Well, at that point, it becomes personal.
Exactly. It becomes personal issue between it. That's where the animosity comes. And
and
that's a situation that most people end up with, not understanding
correct
how to handle a situation.
And that was actually my next question, is in those instances, as a leader, how do you handle that? You know, like, how do you de-escalate? Because again, I'm still learning every day. I'm a human. And a lot of times I will match energy. So
that's the wrong thing to do.
I know.
I mean, yes, if someone is literally smacking you, definitely match the energy. But if they're screaming at you, your job, especially whether you're in management or any type of elected official, is to de-escalate.
Yes.
It's not to escalate the situation. And that's when you take the personal element out. That's when you have to listen, you have to explain to that person, try to make them understand what exactly they are saying and what exactly you're able to do for them and what you're not able to do for them. But listening is where it starts.
Right.
Instead of matching the energy.
Right.
Yeah.
How much of your job is customer facing today?
100%.
100%?
Too much of it, huh?
I'm literally on the front line.
Okay. Wow.
Literally. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that smooths you as a person for sure, because I mean, when I first got to college, my first big job, you know, was I worked in an iPhone repair shop, and it was just a small mom and pop shop. I mean, I was like one of 3 or 4 employees, including the 2 owners, you know, so I got to know this couple that was the owners pretty well, but they pretty quickly put me, like, you know, I don't even know how long it was in, like 3 months in or something. They're like, all right, you know, you're picking up pretty quickly. We're gonna go on vacation for the weekend, and we'll let you know, man the store. And I was like, all right, you know, but man, people love their
get
phones.
really pissed off about their
People
phones.
love their phones.
I worked for Centennial Wireless like 16 years ago, and they get mad about their phones.
So that was the first kind of, you know, like sanding down of, like, you know, my personality to handle confrontation. But then after that, I worked, you know, as an enterprise customer success manager for the software company that I worked at previously, and I had our largest customer. This is, I won't say who they are, but you can Google it. It's the largest HOA company in the world / nation. They're a $1 billion company. They were, I won't talk too much about them. And I haven't named them by name, but I will just say, I mean, their demands were extreme. And most customer success managers had about 40 accounts that they were, you know, 40 clients that they were assigned. And I had 1, if that tells you the size of this. And yeah, it was just as bad as it sounds. And that,
I can imagine.
And so I feel for you, you know, about on the customer facing role, and I know how it feels to get shaped, you know.
You know what else really pisses people off? Getting their car towed.
Yeah.
I bet. I can imagine.
I will be honest with you. We do not do, like, there's no, like, illegal parking here. We don't do any of that. We're usually just a non-consensual, or, hey, I broke down, can you come bring me to your shop? But what we do have to do is, if the police call us and somebody's driving with no insurance and registration, guess who takes that chewing? And I'm just like, hey, bud, you're not going back far enough. Yeah. You didn't have insurance and registration. You can't just drive on the road without insurance and registration. You know, and a lot of that, oftentimes, I do try to be as nice as I can possibly be. And then there's just some switch. And it's just like, okay, I'm ready to match energy.
Yeah, I would code this client like custom tools. You know.
Yeah, you just like don't clap in my face. I'll clap back.
Well, guess what? Next time, try this. walk away, get somebody else to replace it.
Yeah, normally Galen comes in.
I was going to say
Sometimes you
that.
have to do this.
Yeah.
You have to take a minute, think about it, because when you're a customer service job, matching the energy always goes bad.
Yeah, it does.
So-
It doesn't work out well. But my advice to the general public is that when you go into situations and you're pissed off, the best course of action is to not take it all out on the person in front of you, because you will get way further with me coming in and being kind than you will coming in and slamming things around, and because that sets the tone automatically.
In a perfect world,
Yeah.
that's possible.
Correct.
Like I say, most of the times the people are upset at the situation.
Yes.
They're not upset at you.
Yes.
However, most people take that the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I can confidently say that I do try to do that with everybody except for the people at AT&T. So I really got AT&T is the worst to deal with. And I don't know if you've ever had to call the 800 number, but it is the bar none the worst. And I promise you, there's been multiple times that if I could have put my hands on somebody, I would have. And it's the worst. I tried to get internet, okay? And I paid for the internet to be installed at my house, okay? 3 months of back and forth. I still have no internet. Then I get a bill
For internet that you don't have.
that I don't have. And I'm like, I don't have internet. And I'm on the phone with these people, and it was so infuriating. And they were like, ma'am, you have to pay the bill or I'm going to disconnect your service. And I'm like, I don't have any service. What are you going to disconnect? I've been waiting for this for 3 months. And I had paid like $500 to have a line board and all this stuff. Anyway, I ended up just being like, you know what? Keep the $500. I don't want your internet. And I think I went with Suddenlink.
You let them keep the
I didn't
$500?
care. I was so mad. I didn't care because I had done this for 3 months, and I was just like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I never want to do business with you again. And I just went somewhere else, and it was way easier.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't, they were already like, well, ma'am, you owe us however many dollars it was. And I was like, I don't have internet.
So if that was me, I would invite them to come disconnect the service. I would have told them,
Yeah. Come try to find it.
Show me where it is.
Yeah.
I
He's
would've
so
definitely
chill about it.
invited them. No, I would have.
Yeah. Please come disconnect it.
Just come show me where it is.
Yeah.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
And bring my money back. Bring my money while you at it.
Yeah.
I would have told them.
Please come disconnect it.
And then you have a person in front of your face that you can speak to as well.
And then once they see it, okay, well, we'll go ahead and refund you your money.
Yeah, it was. That's the only people that I have like completely lost my mind on, because I just nobody could answer anything.
Yeah, I mean and that's ever since I worked at the iPhone repair shop and had the other customer facing role and stuff. It's like I'm the nicest person in the world to everybody.
Yes.
But then sometimes, like when Marianne had cancer and she had a critical illness policy, that she'd signed up for, it was very cut and dry. Cancer, you get this amount of money, and it's like, and we needed that money like pretty expediently to help pay for things when she couldn't work anymore. I was working, but anyway, so just her trying to, I would listen every day when she would call into the insurance company to check on the claim, and they're doing everything they can to, deny this claim. That's a clear cut. It's like, look, we gave you, the MD Anderson doctor's information, everyone over there. I mean, there's no question. And this went on for like, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 months or something. And, I would listen to her and she's being so sweet, and I was like, Marianne, you gotta, enough is enough, you let me talk to him, And so finally she kind of had enough.
Imagine just like arguing with Greg, and then you find out his dad's a doctor.
Yeah.
Finally she had enough, and, was more stern with him. And like, I think the next day they approved,
Of course they did.
And it's like, occasionally you just,
Yeah, sometimes you got to. Yeah, you got to flip out. Yeah. Sometimes it has to happen,
especially with something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I never understood that. It's like, okay, this is health insurance, and it's obviously a cancer policy. What clarification do you need that I qualify for this? And the fact that we have to have advocacy groups against insurance is wild to me. It's insanely preposterous. Yeah. So what do you think the mayor's primary responsibility is? Because it's a little bit different in Leesville than it is other places.
So as far as I know, the mayor leads the city council. Okay? The mayor also controls the budget, as far as I know. Yeah. The city council is the ones that run the city as far as going out, talking to the community and everything. The mayor sets the agenda. The mayor should be appointing key positions in the administration. Like I said, with communication, I don't want to talk about anybody else, but with me, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Communication is success.
Well,
so
in regards to communication, let me ask you this. What is your opinion on people coming to the council meetings and actually being able to address you as the mayor and the council? Because if I understand this correctly, that's an issue with the current administration.
It has been expressed, by I've heard this from multiple people. It's not coming from me, but I do get the sentiment. And I noticed that when I went to and I didn't know this until I went when I became the news person, I learned a lot. And I went to the DeRidder City Hall meetings, and at the very beginning of the meeting, before you go in, you're allowed to fill out a card and say you want to speak, you want to address the council. And the council's not required to respond to you in any way, but you are allowed to speak. And I think you get like 2 or 3 minutes to say whatever it is. And they have a card that they know what you're going to speak about. And they give you your 2 or 3 minutes. And sometimes sometimes it's neutral, sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's positive feedback. But we don't have that in Leesville. In Leesville, you have to speak about something that's on the agenda. That's what the public comment period is for. So it has to be something that's on the agenda. And
so in other words, if there's a problem, you just come in, sit down, be quiet, and that's it.
Well, right. And then afterwards, I'm assuming that if you knew who your city council person was, or if you caught one of the at-large, and I don't really think any of them would help you, but you would have to like approach one of them after the meeting and be like, hey, I have this. But then it's not on record. It's not on public record that you said something. So, and you have to, in order to do that, you have to call and if you're speaking on something on the agenda, it has to be within so many hours before the meeting. So, all that has to be done so that you're allowed to speak at the meeting. So I have heard that multiple times, and I think it's an easily addressable issue.
Exactly. And that's one of the issues that keeps coming up, because let's go back to the beginning. The people don't know what the agenda is and when the meetings are. Right. So how would I speak? Let's say I'm just all of a sudden want to go and speak in front of the city council, but I don't know when the meeting is. I don't know what the agenda is. Well, that idea cuts the whole process out. Right. Because there's no way for me to speak up. So the process at this time is made for you not be able to speak up. We have to fix that.
I think that is easily addressable.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there has to be communication. There has to be a different process to where people can express themselves. Because you, as a public official, again, you are elected to serve the public. Simple as that.
Yeah. And me coming in being told that I've just got to sit down and be quiet. That's...
Well, even in Baton Rouge, like when you go down, I don't know if you've ever spoken at the Capitol, but when they have the bills that go in front of, their little committees, if you got 100 cards, you got to hear all 100 of those people.
Exactly. Right.
And they get their minutes, their 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is to speak.
It's like every place is different, but it's from 2 to 5 minutes. Like you said, most places I think do 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But why is Leesville different? Why is Leesville special?
Right.
That's design. That's made by design to be that way, to disconnect the community. So we need to fix this.
Yeah, that way I don't have to answer to you.
Whoever the new mayor is, that's one thing that needs to be fixed, because without community involvement, we'll keep going down.
And I almost feel like we should like take an audit of these sorts of things, like little things, and look at other, pick a few examples of like successful small towns that have high community engagement, and perform an audit and see what is different about our policy. Maybe it's little things like that. Maybe it's council meeting times.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the ability to speak without being on the agenda at meetings, whatever.
I don't know if it's a charter thing. I really don't know what the deal is. I don't know what the deal is, but even, and I'm going to use DeRitter for an example, but I'm not touching on the subject that was going on. But we were at a meeting and it's a packed house. Everybody that filled out a card was allowed to speak, even though they're all repeating the same things. They were allowed to speak, and rightfully so. They should have been allowed to speak on what was going on. And I think that, to me, just any meeting that I've been to, and again, I don't know why it's set up the way it's set up, but I do think it is an easily fixed issue. And that I have no issue with that whatsoever. I think that people should be allowed.
So the reason why I say that's made by design, Lee over here in the corner is having fun the whole time. I see him smiling. I watched some of the podcasts that they had, and I'm not going to mention no names or anything, but I did hear a comment when they asked about similar stuff, and a comment was made, yes, the city stopped that. We're not allowing it, because if you allow one person, you have to allow everybody. Guess what? The Constitution, the First Amendment, gives you freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. There's 5. Yeah. Freedom of religion, freedom of press, the right to assemble, and the right to petition the government. Well, when you stop this, you're suppressing the First Amendment. But that was made by an official, and that's why our actual process in Leesville is made by design for people not to be able to express themselves.
So, and to me, I feel like that could be, I'm not going to say it is, directly reflective of the negative comments on Facebook, because that's the only place that they can say anything.
Well, guess what?
Right.
Negative or positive,
we have to hear it.
It's open to the public.
Yeah, you don't get to pick and choose which side you hear from.
You have to. How you deal with it,
right,
it's a different matter. And unfortunately, right now, they're dealing the wrong way, to where they disconnected the community completely. The community don't want nothing to do with them. Like I said, I don't want to speak about anybody else, but I am speaking for myself. If elected, this will be fixed. That'll be the number one priority. The community will be involved in everything, because when we get together and come up with solutions, that's how we're going to succeed.
And I almost like kind of learnings from the way the software world does it, like collects feedback and prioritizes things. That's one of the things that I do respect about some companies. I mean, like Ubiquiti is an example. I use a ton of their gear for my network backbone and security cameras, all that stuff. They have an online discussion forum, a community site, basically. And just like most software companies, you could put in, a complaint or an improvement request or whatever, but then those are categorized down. And so you have like kind of a list of the top things, and you can like upvote that or whatever. I would love to see something like that with the city, because the council meeting should not be the only place that we're collecting feedback either.
Exactly.
That's pretty inefficient.
Exactly.
Like if we had something like that where it's like, okay, we can all look and see what's on the board, what people care about, and people are easily able to say, yeah, I agree with that. Wouldn't we get so much more done?
Isn't it?
Exactly.
So is it like an online?
This is the point. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So is it like an online suggestion box? Is that what you're saying?
Essentially, but it's not anonymous, and that would be an important thing, I think. Maybe the raw, normally there's like a project manager or whatever, like on a dev team, for example, that would take these critiques and kind of put them in buckets. We can have AI do that. Like that's, a good use case for AI to like separate into buckets or whatever autonomously. And then, then you're presented with things, and then people can go and look. And then as a community, we would all be on the same page of like, hey, this isn't even on the city's radar.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
we need to put a new request in or whatever, you know?
Now, let me give you an example of what he just said. Okay. Like you guys said, you saw the podcast that I held with Leesville Tattoo. Some of the interviews I've done with KLB. Of course, the interview was almost 2 hours long, but they can only
Correct.
and show so much because their program is only 30 minutes. So when you have that communication, and when you have the community involved, you come up with solutions. That's what's going to make us successful. That is what is going to bring also businesses in town. They're like, okay, they're listening. They're friendly. Okay, as of right now, we're not business friendly neither. So businesses don't even want to come here. And I know I heard a million times, oh, because of our population. No, there's smaller towns than us that have stuff that we're not able to get. So you can't tell me because of our population, these businesses are not coming. Is how are you working with these businesses? What are they seeing? Because every business does a study. They go out there and they send people to do a survey. They look at every single aspect of the community or the area. Mm-hmm. So if they see anything that is not attractive to them, or they see local issues that kind of pushes businesses away, they'll never come.
So we talked about this. We've talked about this on a few different episodes at this point, and including with LaFonda last time. And a lot of it is like literally not being able to effectively count the number. Like, I have no doubt that we should be more attractive to these companies than we are currently. But
yes.
Part of it is we have very low census involvement. Like, people refuse to give census data, and you can go back and look at our episode with LaFonda when we air it. But I don't want to repeat too much. But like, essentially, we should be looking at what other ways we can like utilize existing data sources we have, or new methods, new ways to kind of get a better count of our actual population, so that we can kind of proactively approach these companies and say, look, we did this. We think this is a more accurate measure of how many people we actually have and how many clients you would have, how many customers you would have.
Correct. Because I don't think, one, the census numbers are not right because everybody doesn't answer the census. Right. And our voter turnout is ridiculous.
Terrible.
It's terrible. It's
yes.
For lack of a better term, it's piss poor. Because I remember in 2022, District 1's voter turnout was 11%.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, it was terrible.
Like I said earlier, I do go and talk to people in person, and you will be surprised how many people tell me, I don't vote, but this year I'm voting. Well, when they say that, I bring it to their attention. Okay, yes, all of us can complain about this, and this, but if you don't vote, how you expect change to happen?
That's correct.
And I appreciate everyone's support, and I hope I get everyone's support. But if I don't, vote for whoever you support them. That's
just as long as you vote.
That's how we'll see change.
Right.
Right.
And you know what? I love that, because this is the third. Every candidate we've had on, city council, mayoral, has said the same thing. Nobody has said, you better vote for me, or, they've said, I don't care if you vote for anyone else, just get out and vote.
Just vote.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. Well, because you have to consider if, like, and I'm saying District 1 because I remember that number so vividly, and that's not my district, but I just remember I was just like, wow, 11% of District 1 made every decision for the rest of the district. So you like 11% of those people.
Yeah.
And a district in a city, well, in Leesville, is not that large.
No.
So you have to consider how many people that was, and it was a very low number of people.
With the declining population, I think in Leesville right now we have in the city limits 5,200. Right, 5,200.
Somewhere around there.
Okay, so 11% will be about 550 people.
Well, and that's for the whole
11%.
city.
That's what I'm saying. That's 11%.
Not District 1. So District 1, it's even less.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So if it's for the whole city, that's 550
That's 550 people.
Making the decision for the entire city.
And I don't know if you guys heard me, if you watched the entire interviews or the podcast, I've said this. Don't let the few make the decision for the many.
Right.
That's exactly what I mean. Speak up. Vote whoever you support. You want to see them in office so we can make it better for everyone.
Did you and I, the year you ran for council, is that the year that I was constable?
Yes.
I know it was really close. I think I had somewhere around 2,800 registered voters in Ward 4 at the time, and there was just shy of 900 people showed up to vote.
Yeah.
I think we have a few extra now. It's like 3,300 or something, 3,200 registered voters.
Well, he's talking about in Ward 4 in New Lano.
Yeah, south of
Yeah,
New
so
Lano,
he was
It was a
different.
parish election.
And I'd be remiss to not bring this up yet again, but because I brought it up every candidate episode, but like we can't even vote in this election because we're outside of the city.
limits.
Yeah.
Like we are currently at the studio outside of the city limits.
I can fix
And
that, Greg.
There's tons of,
We'll
but we've had
fix this.
that conversation. But so is that, and this is me just being lazy and not Googling it because I'm sure it's a very easy answer.
Do
but
your
like,
research, Greg.
Yeah, I know. But like, is that a common thing where it does seem like if you have some sort of business interest, if you own a business inside the city limits, even if you don't live there, you should definitely have a vote in the city. Is that
We just had this conversation
it
in the show.
goes by address
Yeah.
where you live.
Where you live, because
Is
you got
that the same everywhere?
It's the same
Yes,
everywhere. You
it's
have
the
to
same
put your money
everywhere.
where your mouth is, because, and I do understand as a business owner and a resident of the city of Leesville, if you're in the city and you have a vested interest in the city, I'm not saying, because your business is your livelihood, I'm not saying that you don't have a say so, but you're going to have to help us help you. So buy a house inside the city limits, let me annex you, or build a house inside the city limits.
I think-
I don't, that's the three ways I know to fix it.
Yeah, and I think that normally it's not such an issue, but I think you have. I
It's
would be
because we're
interested
so
to-
small.
I was going to say I'd be interested to look at other small cities. Again, this would be part of the audit where we say like, okay, what is the typical kind of population density that where a small town stops expanding their city limits, because.
Well, to me, and you mentioned something about it on the last episode, I think, but I don't remember. So to me, I don't see why there's not some sort of viable option to be like, okay, this is the city limits of Leesville, and then this is the metropolitan area or the
Right.
subdivision area or whatever, like 5 miles outside the city limits.
That was me, you, and Galen.
That was me,
talking
you,
about
and
that.
Galen. Oh, okay, I knew I was talking to somebody about
does
it.
that, like, if you have a metro area, I'd assume there's like
Well, I mean,
less tax implication or some
Maybe
sort of
there's just
regulation
less
impact?
ordinance. Like, because like, okay, let's just say I annex this place in, right? And you're like, Jessica, I still want to shoot armadillos on my property.
Right.
And I'd be like, Greg, you're in the metro area. I'm not going to stop you. The ordinances are different out here. So
Right.
yeah, you can still, so maybe you it's the ordinances are not as much because like inside the city, you can't burn something on your property. I can't burn anything on my property because I have 3 neighbors within 200 feet of me. I could set their house on fire. That's why I can't burn inside the city limits. That's what those regulations are for.
Right.
But, and I can't keep junk cars on my property. You know what I'm saying? And that's because I'm driving down my property's, my neighbor's
Right, it's
property
almost
value.
like we should tie the ordinances to like the reality of like we can find out population densities. Like, oh, if people where we're at on Hawthorne don't tend to live close enough to catch each other on fire, then maybe we should be able to burn things.
Correct.
But we should still be able to vote,
Right.
for the mayoral election.
And I don't think I don't know how that works. I don't know how that's set up.
I don't either.
And I've had these discussions with state representatives because I have very good friends that live, maybe 5 miles outside the city limits. And they're like, hey, I own a business in town. I feel like I should be able to vote. And I'm not negating that. I am not, because your livelihood is vested in the city of Leesville. But aside from doing some sort of like, metropolitan, I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know what that looks like.
That I'm just at the end of the day. I mean, I'm just glad to get it out there so that maybe we're thinking about it.
And I don't know what that looks like budget wise either, because once you do that, you take on the responsibility of those roads. And can we afford that? Can we take that on?
Other infrastructure.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
Water and
Because I know that there's a lot of people outside the city limits that are on city water. So is the metro area, if you're on city water, you're in the metro area, and we include that in our population, or you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that looks like.
Okay.
Because if they're already on the water system, then we don't have to expand the water system.
That is another thing that just blew my mind that I just realized. Like, we have people in the city. We're on city water. Like, we're on city water, but we're not in the city limits. Is that a common thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you on Leesville water or are you on West Vernon right here?
You
got a water plant right down the road.
Yeah, you're on West Vernon.
Oh, okay.
Ours doesn't come out this far. But, I mean, it does go.
It don't go far, though. I mean, it stops right out there.
Yeah, it just stops right out there. So, but you pay a higher rate outside the city limits. So, I mean, in all actuality, your taxes don't increase if you're annexed and your water bill goes down. So, that's, so I don't know. I mean, is the metro area, because the reason you can't be a business owner and just vote is because the owner of Chili's has no say-so about what happens in New Llano. That's the crux of it, because you can't say, oh, well, it's only small business owners.
Oh, and again, New Llano, we're coming for you. We're going to start a war with you. We're taking your land.
Don't start that, Greg.
We don't care about your history.
Don't start that rumor.
So, since we're on business, let me ask you your opinion on this. And I actually had conversations over the years. So we have Fort Polk right next to us. Okay.
Get you close to the mic.
Years ago,
Move that mic wherever you need.
Yeah, well, you can. Yeah,
so I usually go on vacation in different places, Florida, sometimes overseas. And years ago, I had an idea, and I'll tell you about it because it never actually became anything of it, and there was reasons why. But bringing a water park, big water park here in central Louisiana, because the closest water park we have will be either Baton Rouge,
which closed down,
Dallas, which will be Six Flags, San Antonio, Six Flags and SeaWorld, or Florida, which will be where I usually go. We have Disney World, and you have Busch Garden and Universal Studios. So you have to drive hours just to have fun or go on vacation with your kids. So I spoke to some people at that time to see if they invest. I was going to buy some land here, but once they looked, and this is what kind of the decision they made, there is no infrastructure. There is no hotels here. At that time, we only had one, maybe two hotels in the area. And then the next thing was, we don't even have an airport, but that little airport right here, if we somehow are able to expand it to a regional airport, what Alexandria has, and this is my opinion, that's why I'm asking about your opinion, don't you think with Fort Polk, military spouses, military families, with having a regional airport, don't you think that'll be a big business attraction?
Well, you asked,
that will attract the businesses, because the reason why I'm saying this is that's one thing that stopped those businesses investing into my idea. It was a great idea, they said, but there's nothing else to compete around here. But the infrastructure is not there.
Correct.
Which to them, they won't have the business.
Right.
There's nowhere to put the people. There's nowhere to fly the people. Someone to come, of course, have to drive hours and hours away.
Right.
So over the years, with friends and family from the military, every time they come either from the war or deployment somewhere around the world, they got to fly them either to Alexandria or Lake Charles, and they got to drive them to Fort Polk on these hot buses, because they don't have AC on these buses, for an hour and a half, because they do drive half of the speed limit. And then they got to sit there another few hours for the welcoming ceremony. So by the time they get home, they beat. If we have a regional airport here, this will be, I think, one of the biggest things to help expand Leesville.
You're asking the right people.
My opinion on that is industry.
Well, it does. I don't even think it has anything to do with industry as it does money.
Well,
so
one brings the other.
Yeah, correct. So I am an aircraft owner, and we utilize the airport here. So presently we are underway, and we're extending the runway so that jets can land here.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Not big giant jets.
Not big.
We don't need big giant jets.
And
we just need something small where you can charter people.
Correct. Yeah. So that will now be a thing. We should be done with that 2027, I think.
I know they're working on it as
we're presently expanding that right now. Because a prime example is when the other, 2 or 3 years ago, Jason Derulo came in for Fort Polk at Freedom Fest.
Yeah, I remember that.
So his jet could not fly in here.
Exactly.
It couldn't, but it also couldn't fly into Fort Polk because Fort Polk is same distance or same runway length as us. So they had to get him in a Black Hawk, which was probably really cool for him. It was a good experience, but they had to pick him up from Alexandria in a Black Hawk. So we will have the means for charter aircraft. I don't know that you and I ever see in our lifetime a regional airport, but it's not outside the realm of possibility in the next 50 years.
I think that'll be the greatest things that can happen for Leesville because you have so much possibility for companies to come in.
Yes.
For football, for family members to fly in and out.
That's correct.
For military to bring the soldiers that are deployed that are coming back. There's so much possibilities having a regional airport. It was mind-boggling to be all these years because not only had those conversations with companies to invest, but I also went to City Hall then, and I asked about it, and they said that this will never happen. That's what they told me.
I think that. Okay, so like an official regional airport is leaps and bounds more expensive than
that's correct.
What we're doing.
That's correct.
So I do think that's probably a few jumps.
Yeah.
In the future, but we need to first lay the groundwork for that to even be profitable. Because right now, if you had a regional airport, you wouldn't have enough people able to even afford to fly in.
That's correct.
A lot of people from here can't even afford to fly into Alexandria.
Yeah.
Me included on a lot of things.
Like
I'll
if you
drive to Houston,
you'll drive to
fly out of Houston because the flight out of Alexandria is so expensive.
It's $400 more.
I agree with you. It'd be a big.
I tell you, I fly out of Lake Charles or Alexandria when I go on vacations instead of driving to Houston. Most of the times I fly out of those. But if I had it right here, like this will be so much easier. And like I said, the possibility of companies coming here because they will have that availability.
Correct.
That's huge.
I just think like if I were looking at it from an investor standpoint, there wouldn't be enough people that could utilize it, currently. Now, I think it's our job now to set the stage so that we can grow enough people so that we do have enough people to utilize it. We gotta walk before we can run.
I think there's room for us to lay groundwork, and it may be something that we never see in our terms.
And we need to get creative with it because if it's more of an asphalt need and we can do that much cheaper, like what we're doing an extension to allow bigger jets in, but we don't have the overhead of additional FAA regulations or whatever that come from, increasing status or active air traffic control expenses, because all that is ungodly.
It is ungodly.
But if there's stuff we can do where in the off case Jason Derulo wants to land his 747 here, well, maybe we have the asphalt for it.
Well,
we don't have to have a 747.
No, that was an embellishment, but
we could have a airspace big enough to land jets to charter.
That's correct, and that will be a thing now. But it will still remain a non-towered airport. But we did have to upgrade. We had to. I think it's called an AWOS. We'll have to have an AWOS. Which is like an automated weather system, something or other. I don't remember what the acronym is, but we did have to
weather alert system.
There we go.
Did they have to put in new equipment for that, like active weather monitoring?
That's correct. We didn't have one, so we will have one now.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I'm just starting my journey as a weather nerd. I got a little weather station out there.
Well, there will be a new one, and it'll be it's accessible publicly at all times.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a thing, but we will have the ability to land jets. So now, a small jet, yes, a large jet, no. But when we get the runway extension completed, the bigger jets will be able to come in here. Corporate jets, if the executives from Chili's wanted to come in and fly in, they could.
Or from industry.
Yeah.
Industry.
And we do partner.
Soldiers.
Yes, we do partner with them a lot. For training purposes, and hopefully in the future those jets will be able to land here.
Yes.
So they don't have to.
It'll make life so much easier.
Now Fort Polk has their own big ass runway.
It's not. Yeah, but it won't be this long.
Really?
That's correct.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So also something to consider is like the Fort Polk airspace is super tightly regulated. Yeah. So does that come into play?
State your intention.
Yeah.
And that's why I say if we have it here, this will make life so much easier for those spouses, for the military personnel, where they can land here instead of Alexandria be driven by a hot bus.
Well,
I was curious about if that's something that we run into with airspace.
No, because believe it or not, a lot of people don't know this. Fort Polk is the aircraft traffic control from Alabama to Houston.
Yeah.
So they do all the air traffic control. Mm-hmm. So they know their airspace. I don't think it creates a problem for their air. You have to go a little,
so that's not a blocking factor if we decide to increase our airport.
No,
okay,
they just have to fly around it. I mean, they know it's on your thing, on your dashboard.
And if you don't know, they will tell you.
They will tell you if you get too close.
I worked for a local state agency for about 10 years, and we had a pilot that would get up and fly once a day on a fire patrol. And there's been a couple of times where, he knew where it was at, but he saw smoke and had to get kind of close to it, and he was escorted out of the airspace.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, they'll tell you real quick if you, and because
they didn't tell him nothing. They escorted him out.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to see the black Dorito of death.
That's impressive because there's several warnings before that.
Yeah, he must not have had his ADS-B on or something. So in the grand scheme of things, obviously things are going to go wrong. So if something goes wrong per se inside the city, and I'll give you an example so I don't have to make you wonder. Back, I think it was when we got hit by Hurricane. What came after her? It was Rita. Hurricane Rita.
Rita hit us. Katrina hit New Orleans.
Yeah, and then Rita hit us.
Rita came directly to us.
So at some point in time, something happened. I don't know what happened, and I'm not blaming anybody. The water tower in Leesville did not work. So obviously everybody knows we were without water for a good long time, if you remember correctly. Mm-hmm.
It was a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was a couple of weeks. So
I was out there giving water, gallons of water.
Same. So when something like that happens, who takes that responsibility? Who do you, in your opinion, should it be the mayor that bears that burden?
So hurricane is a national and state event. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there has to be collaboration between city, parish, state, federal. Okay. There has to be those connections to where all of us are in line and helping each other. Mm-hmm. Because the mayor himself only has so much resources.
That's correct.
Okay. So you cannot deal with the entirety of that situation just by yourself. You have to be able to.
But on the public front,
on the public front, you can be the spokesperson. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Okay.
But as long as you let the public know, hey, this is what we're doing. This is the funds that we have. This is what we're waiting on. Then, of course, there'll be people upset about it. But you should be able to speak on what you are doing.
Right. Okay. So, but the mayor is the one that gets out there and puts it on his shoulders and say, hey, this is what went wrong, and we're sorry, and we are doing everything we can to fix it.
Definitely. On the end of the day, you are still the mayor.
Okay.
Okay. The community will be looking at you because the first line of communication will be you.
Right. Right.
They will not have that communication with anybody else that you're communicating, whether it's parish level or state level or federal level.
So if you have, let's just say, to me, I understand the need to have disagreements, but have y'all ever seen the videos of Eric Mays, the city councilman from like Flint, Michigan? He's passed away. Rest in peace, Mr. Eric Mays.
Is that the guy that used to yell at everybody?
Yes.
I've actually seen a meme. I don't have a TikTok account. I got to but I've seen a meme of that. And
Yeah.
This will never happen.
Okay, so that's my question. Okay, so if you got two people going at it, right? You don't want to be on the news. Like, nobody wants to be on KALB, KPLC, because we can't keep our city council people under control, right? We don't want to have it. I think Eric Mays was hilarious, but I don't want that here.
Definitely not. We don't want that here.
If you have two people going at it like that in the city council meeting, what do?
You have to be able. That's why you are the leader of the city council. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to step in and de-escalate the situation. There's no if or but about it. Okay, you're in charge. You have to be able. Yes, healthy debates are welcome, but we have to keep respectful.
Civil.
Definitely. So respect for the individual is one of my number one rules, and I live my life by it. So you have to be able to step in respectfully, de-escalate the situation, and make sure they understand that this will not be allowed.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we go any further, do you have a hard stop at 7, or is it?
Let me see if my wife called me.
Okay, yeah.
I put my phone.
I'm just going to do a time check.
He's got to ask the real boss.
Yeah,
I do love spending time with my kids, and they're all at home. Like I said, my oldest one goes to LSMSA, and every minute I get to spend with them, I do so because you don't know what may happen. Me walking out that door.
Right.
So anytime I get a chance to give them a kiss, I love them, or spend time with them, I cherish those moments.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make sure we.
So nobody takes.
Yeah. So nobody takes. He's like. I hadn't. Pissed
I just want to make sure if we had a hard stop at 7, we get any last questions in.
So she'll let me know if something's going on, if they have anything planned. Because before I left home, I told them for them to decide what they want to do after 7. And they'll let me know.
So I've asked all of the candidates, because I feel like this is a very telling question, just of who you are as a person. What is your favorite gas station snack?
So I don't actually eat junk food.
Oh no!
So I'll be honest with you. My whole family is like this. I cook. I have my own recipes, and we cook fresh every single day. Once in a while, we'll go to a restaurant, a favorite restaurant that my kids may have, but we cook fresh every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
So if you're on a road trip, though, and you stop at Buc-ee's, okay, because everybody loves Buc-ee's, what do you get at Buc-ee's?
So I do get the...
Beaver nuggets.
I do.
Do you really?
My kids, like I said, they also don't eat junk food, so the fresh food that they cook, it can be fried sometimes. Whatever that looks good for them at that time, that's what they get.
The only correct answer to that question is pepper jack boudin balls.
That's what I say. I usually get either boudin balls, boudin links, sausage links, meat pies.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I
Okay,
wait, but now I'm most interested in what do you guys like to cook the most?
The most, so like I said, I have my own recipes, so it depends on
Bulgarian recipes, or
I was going to say they're probably not American.
So I make recipes from different cultures. When I eat something and I actually like it, I always try to improve it.
Right.
So I cook, believe it or not, Japanese food. I have recipes for Japanese food. I have recipes for Thai food.
I love me some Thai
Korean food. Of course, the Bulgarian food is similar to the American food. We eat a lot of meat grilling and stuff like that. So anytime I try something and I like it, or if my kids like it, I always make my own recipe to improve of what I taste needs to be added.
And so if you're cooking like a Chinese dish, for example, you go deep, because this is something we do. Like, if we're going to cook a Chinese dish, we're not going to like look and see what Martha Stewart has for her Chinese, General Tso's chicken. Like, no, we're going to go like find some original Chinese source material and make it like the way it was,
Don't say too much bad about Martha Stewart. She's in good with Snoop. So
I'm gonna give you. I don't really do Chinese, like I said, Japanese, Thai, Korean. But I'm gonna give you example with Thai food. Okay, I have a few recipes and I do everything from scratch. I do pad Thai. And I make the sauces, everything from scratch. I do the fried rice, basil fried rice is what I do. And I always add extra seasonings or make the sauces from scratch. And there's another dish that I cook I think that's actually the national dish, and I don't want to butcher the actual name, but I think it's called karate pao or something like that. It's pretty much chicken or beef, which is cut in very small pieces with rice, with hot chili pepper, with the sauce is made with oyster sauce, some soy sauce, a little bit of sugar. So, and I always add either garlic or onions. It depends on what needs to be added to improve the taste that I see that is missing, that dish is missing.
So pad krapao?
That's it.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, give me a Tatapech menu number.
Yeah.
I'm going to know it right away.
That's it, pad krapao. I think that's the national dish.
Yeah.
And I think the English translation is holy basil chicken. That's the actual
I respect the hell out of this so much. I'm not cooking anything that's not American, mostly because I know I'm going to butcher it. Like I would be so afraid.
Well, I tell you,
we live in the
two
information
corn dogs that I ate at Sonic on my way up here, y'all are killing me.
The first time I ever cooked, I was 5. And the first thing I ever cooked, my father showed me how to cook pancakes and how to flip them with the pan. Well, I flipped one and stuck it on the ceiling. So they had to repaint the ceiling after that. He wasn't mad.
At least you were trying something.
But they ended up repainting the ceiling. So ever since then, I've been coming up with my own recipes. When I was 7, I burned my hands. There's a little scars that you can see up to right here. I let the 3rd-degree burn. The skin fell down and everything. But I survived. I had a good doctor to where you can barely see any scars other than my hands being darker. That's why the darker color is on the hands. But at 9, I almost burned the house down, grilling some chicken.
Andre, maybe you shouldn't cook.
but I'll tell you what, all these little things taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
And each time I did something, I improved on.
I'm a comfort food cooker. So like all mine's like Southern food. I don't venture outside of what I know.
Well, look, we live in the information age. We don't have to have white people taco night anymore.
No, I love white people taco night.
We can make tacos birria. We can
I'm gonna go if I want Hispanic food.
White people taco night.
Yeah, that's the thing. Ortega. You got the Ortega sauce.
To be fair, I do love white people taco night too. But I also love the Houston food truck. Tacos we would get. I love legit Mexican food. It's a different thing. It's like Taco Bell and real Mexican food.
Taco Bell is not Mexican food at all.
And I love both of them.
Just because you put something in a taco shell does not make it Mexican food.
Taco Bell is so great for a hangover.
Oh, I'm not arguing that, but it's not Mexican food.
The other night,
17 soft tacos, please.
I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be $3.
The other night, after we got done recording the episode with Lufana, I think it's Thursday night.
I went to Taco Bell too.
Did you actually?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I went to Taco Bell right after LaFonda left, and
that was Greg behind you honking the horn. Hurry up!
Yeah, dude, probably.
I bought $74 worth of Taco Bell.
What did you buy from Taco
Bell? You
bought
everything on the menu.
Twice.
Pretty much. I love Taco Bell so much.
Listen,
and I can reheat it well.
Taco Bell $4 at Taco Bell for real.
I know,
Greg. I was almost 300 pounds, and I never spent $74 at Taco Bell.
Look,
what did you buy?
I hadn't eaten yet though, so I was like extra hungry. I actually told the cashier, I was like, she told me the total when I rolled up, and I was like, I know better than to go to Taco Bell when I'm starving.
Well, let me ask you this: did you eat $74 worth of Taco Bell?
Just about. I ate a hell of a lot of it. And what I didn't eat, we reheated, since then.
Oh my God.
Good Lord have mercy.
Well, I mean, so like, I just don't venture. I just don't venture out on what I cook. But I'm not in the habit of messing up other people's culture. And I feel like if I fail at a recipe, I'm messing up their culture. And it's offensive to me.
As long as you don't get online and like Disney and put out a quinoa gumbo recipe.
Oh my God.
You should try it and fail at it.
That's how you're going to learn.
I know.
So I always taught my kids, you like something, try it, you fail, keep trying, don't give up.
I tell people
that's how you succeed.
I tell people all the time, one of the best bowls of gumbo I've ever had, and I've told this story on the podcast. I went to Brenda's Puerto Rican kitchen one day, and it was really cold outside. And the guy, he's Puerto Rican, I'm from Louisiana, and he's like, I made some gumbo. Do you want some gumbo? And I was like, do you know about gumbo?
That's what I was saying. Do you realize that people from Louisiana are the most judgmental in the world?
As we should be.
When it comes to food.
If people that weren't from Louisiana would stop putting tomatoes and okra in their stew calling it gumbo.
Also, a lot of people don't realize, because I didn't realize this until we had this African joint in Houston at the Post food market that they opened up, which is a great place. If y'all are ever in Houston, hit up Post. But God, I can't remember the name of the place now, but I think they actually got their own restaurant and stuff after this. Amazing food. And they kind of had a historical thing about one of their main dishes is a precursor to jambalaya.
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's where a lot of our recipes came from.
Lots of Louisiana dishes, either European or African, combination of both.
That's correct.
So
that's correct.
And French.
So there's no way of failing if you keep trying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's combination of different foods, and that's how it came about.
Well, the Puerto Rican guy made an A+ bowl of gumbo.
I bet he did.
I don't know whose recipe he used. He said he saw it on Food Network. It was great. I told him it was great. And I was very impressed, but I'm always afraid. I don't know if I can, because I just feel like if I'm going to have Japanese food, I need to go see a Japanese somebody.
And to add to that, the wife and I were on our way to Mountain View, Arkansas, and we had been driving all morning, and it was a little bit after lunch, and I like Vietnamese food. I like Thai food.
Me too.
Well, we come in, I forget what little hole in the wall Arkansas town it was, but there was this.
Was it Pickles Gap?
But there was.
That's a real place in Arkansas.
I don't think it was Pickles Gap.
So look, I don't want to interrupt, but is there a restaurant I can use?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Right through there to the back and the left.
Yes, sir.
But we come across this little Vietnamese place, and I should have been a red flag when we pulled up in the driveway, and it was these two little portable Ahern buildings on the side of a mountain in Arkansas. Well, we're hungry, so let's go in here and look and see. So we walk in, and these two hillbilly ladies was in there cooking this Vietnamese food. Well, we're here. Let's give it a try. What could go wrong?
I did the same thing in Chicago.
Unbeknownst to me, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Oh, no.
I did the same thing in Chicago.
So if you're ever in Arkansas and you want Vietnamese food and you walk in and it's these two hillbilly ladies cooking, go to McDonald's.
Well, we were
I believe it.
all the way in Chicago.
It was awful.
And Chicago's known for their seafood and their pizza and steak and stuff like that, right? So my dad's like, hey, there's a Mexican restaurant. And I was like,
don't do it.
I have not seen one Hispanic person anywhere in Chicago. We go across the street from the hotel, and when we walked in, we sit down, and I was like, hey, do y'all have queso? What's queso? We should have walked out right there.
Turned around and left.
And she was like, we have Chihuahua cheese.
Cheese. Don't knock Chihuahua cheese.
Okay,
what is
well,
Chihuahua
I'm knocking
cheese?
it because it was just, it's not queso. It's not queso.
I didn't say that it was queso.
Like Cheese Whiz?
No, it's shredded. Well, Chihuahua cheese is shredded cheese. It's the white shredded cheese, like when you go to Mexico Lindo or something, they bring that thick white shredded cheese. That's Chihuahua.
It ain't queso.
No, it's not queso, but that's Chihuahua cheese.
And I told my dad right then, I was like, we need to leave and go find some shrimp or pizza or something.
Something else.
There's a McDonald's across the street. We need to leave. This is not going to be good. And again, not one Hispanic person in sight. Like, I prefer to order my stuff in Spanish. Like, if the waiter cannot speak English, that is the peak experience.
It's going to be good food.
I will speak to you in your language and order my food in your language because I know the food is going to be good.
By the way, have you guys been to Taqueria Las Palmas or ordered from there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. I have. Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
yeah,
like the best Mexican food I've had outside. Like, that place would be great in Houston.
listen,
and that's saying something.
And where is that now? That's
it's in
a local
Atlanta.
one.
It's in
Is
Atlanta.
it?
I've actually never been to their physical location. We always DoorDash it,
Where's it at?
but it always
It's
comes
over there in the Hunt Shopping Center.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to go to their physical,
Yeah.
but even DoorDash, it's like always hot and fresh. Taqueria Las Palmas. Have you eaten there? It's in New Lano, but you can also DoorDash it and stuff.
Is that something new?
He cooks. Remember?
Yeah, but when you do go out, it is.
It's in the Hunt Shopping Center, New Lano.
Can
You should
you
try
go
it
in
out.
there,
It's
sit
really
down
good.
and eat?
Yeah, you can
You
go in there and
can.
sit down. Yeah.
Some of the best pupusas and like just everything they make there is.
If I ever
phenomenal.
figure out how to make birria tacos, I'll be 300 pounds again.
My wife makes them all the
Hey,
time.
look,
Oh my God,
again,
I love birria
information
tacos.
age. Look, you want a legit recipe? Look, here's all you have to do. Most of the time, probably, depending on how obscure it is. But like, here's one method you can try. Your results may vary, but like, open your favorite AI, okay, like Gemini or whatever. Enable deep research mode and use the best model. Don't just do like the base stuff. Deep research mode, okay, and then have it like really kind of scold it and say, I don't want just white people taco night. I want like how they made it when it originated.
Yeah.
And then kick that thing off.
I'm thinking about birria tacos. I'm getting birria tacos when I leave here now.
It may give you a 20-page research report, and then you can ask it to summarize and say, all right, now give me the recipe based on everything you learned on that.
So do you have a favorite local eatery here? Favorite food truck, favorite eatery, favorite any of that?
Yes, but again, I don't.
He's like, I don't want to piss everybody off. I'm trying to become mayor.
Well, even the mayor's got to eat.
But look, one day we need to have a cookout whether I'm elected or not. You said that.
Well, some of that stuff you was talking about, I'm on board with that.
You feel that you got to eat Japanese, cooked by a Japanese.
Yeah.
Most people in the Japanese restaurants are not Japanese.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like...
I mean, I understand you get that impression, but they're not Japanese.
Well, I'm always worried, like, if... I don't want a white guy cooking my tacos. I just don't want it. I don't
You
want
definitely
it.
don't want me cooking.
No.
Tacos, 'cause I have no idea. But I haven't come up with a recipe on that, so
Like,
I
okay,
definitely don't want me to cook it.
Like, my theory is if there's a white guy throwing down on some chicken fried steak, he's probably in the right department. But if it's a white dude throwing down on some sushi, I'm going to get mixed feelings about it.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
no,
red
you need
flags
to
there.
try, you
Yeah.
need to try my sushi. I do make sushi.
Yeah?
I make sushi with salmon. I make sushi with crab meat. I make sushi with eel. You definitely need to try sushi that's cooked by this white guy.
One of my favorite places to get stuff is Cure. They have some really good.
Is that how it's pronounced?
That's how I pronounce it. Nobody's ever corrected me.
I've been calling it Kaore. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
I just say Cure because that's what it looks like.
I just call it that other coffee place. I don't know what it's.
Well, Sohee is actually Korean. So when you go in there and you like get the bulgogi kimbap or the bulgogi platter, or any
What
of that,
is the big giant burrito they have? I've had it a couple. Is it a bulgogi burrito?
Yeah, I think it's a bulgogi burrito.
It's really good.
And
fantastic.
And then trust when I say I love Starlight. I love that lady. I don't know her name, but she works really hard, and I love her, and I love that
you're not cheating on Starlight by going to Kaore. You're not.
I know, but
not.
I love both of them.
Right.
Like,
So we can love it. Yeah. We
I
have
really
room,
thought
we
when
have
I
room
moved,
for all of them. Like,
well, when I moved so close to Starlight, I was like, I'm going to be 700 pounds because it's right there. And I love walking up there and just getting a bulgogi platter. And usually Galen and I split it. But the kimbap at Cure is, I love it so much. I wish I could make it at home, but I know I'm not going to be able to pull it off. I just know I've been cooking
Believe
pot
in
roast too
yourself.
long. I can throw down on some pot roast or spaghetti.
watch some Uncle Roger videos and figure it out.
Well, I don't even actually like. I say,
Do you know who Uncle Roger is?
No.
Go watch Uncle Roger. You have more homework. Did
Yeah.
you do your first homework?
Probably not.
No.
I'm a bad
You
student.
didn't watch Black Mirror?
No.
Oh, I remember that,
Okay,
yeah.
so when you I don't watch TV. I just don't. I get bored very easily, and
when you watch movies, you watch them in fast forward.
yeah, I watch everything in like 1.5 to 2 times because
That's insane.
it takes too long.
How do you know what's going on?
She has no clue.
I can hear everything
She
that's
has
being
no clue.
said. Like
She also doesn't watch fiction. Like if it's fiction, she's
I
out.
won't watch it.
Just no imagination over
Let me
here.
just say something. Let me just say something.
I have no imagination.
Back in the 80s and 90s, what did we watch? The Terminator. AI.
Oh no, I never watched it.
Okay.
I never.
Because you'd be scared. Everything's coming to life. But no, seriously. Every fiction movie back from the 80s, the 90s, it's our reality now. They talked about going in space,
Right.
visiting planets, AI, robotics, everything that we thought will never happen in our life
Is happening in front of our eyes.
Literally in front of our eyes.
I want to be honest. I did watch.
Fiction movies is someone's imagination that's becoming reality later on.
I do want to be a little transparent. I did watch the Jetsons, and I'm super pissed off we don't have flying cars. I want to be.
We can't afford them, but we do have them.
I want to be able to transport.
Cars. There is flying cars.
Yeah,
I can't afford them right now.
I
just want me one of them little Rosie robots like he had running around doing all the cooking and everything.
You have a, what you call it? What is that thing? A Roomba.
I don't have a Roomba.
I know, but I'm saying you have the availability to have one.
Could you imagine what BB would do with a Roomba?
I have to imagine.
He'd be riding on my vacuum.
I know, he would be riding on the vacuum. Yeah, well, so I just never got into, like, a lot of people ask me, oh my God, you never saw this movie? And I'm just like, no. I've never seen Star Wars. I've never, nothing. So
that'll be in the distant future, but it's coming.
He was like, that will happen in the future.
It's coming.
I just don't get into it. So I can't, Galen fusses at me too, because he's like, Jessica, how are you hearing anything they say? And I can hear everything they're saying just perfectly fine. But like, if I watch it in one, like I need to admit, I watched y'all's podcast in regular speed, the whole thing, so that I didn't miss any detail.
You're talking about the one I was on?
Yeah, the one you were on. I watched.
I feel special now.
You should, because I watch everything.
You got a fan base.
Lee over there, look, he's smiling from ear to ear. He said,
y'all should feel so complimented, because I don't watch anything in regular speed.
Look, I don't even turn on subtitles unless it's.
Oh no,
imperative.
I read the subtitles in 2 times.
No, I don't turn on subtitles because
How do you read them that fast?
I'm telling you, that's how fast my brain.
Well, look, you're missing out.
I do have to say, sometimes I do that, but the way you read them, you kind of read the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Yeah,
you
just kind of,
the rest.
Yeah, you just kind of capture a little bit of it.
Well, number one, it can spoil critical moments. Number two, you're screwing up the director's framing, of how they, like, just visually.
They're taking too long.
But you're missing out on the timing. Like, this is art that people worked on, and you're just saying, oh no, I don't have the attention span.
You might as well just read a book.
So let me tell you.
So look, I can see both sides.
No wonder you don't like fiction. You're not giving them a chance.
99% I'm with him, but that 1% I'm with you. The reason why is I'll watch commercials of a movie that's coming up, and it looks awesome, but then it starts in the first 20 minutes. There's nothing there. I'm sitting there, like, did I watch the right commercial? So I start speeding it up until it gets to the point where it's interesting.
And you've done watch 3/4 of the movie before you get there.
I just turn it off. I turn it off now. And I used to not be that way. I would just sit through a bad movie or whatever. But now it's you better hook me. Because what I've realized too.
I need the first 15 minutes. You better hook me in.
Right. I'm going to find something else to do.
Yeah, because what I've realized too is the difference between, because I've seen some really good movies at this point, and it's like the really good ones that are tailored for you, you'll be in it from the first second.
Yeah.
They will find a way to entertain you. If they can't do that, then there's so much choice now. You don't have to.
Now, a documentary I will watch in normal speed, because I want to know why CPS took your babies. Like,
don't you also feel like there's so much? There's so many
That's just nosiness is all that is.
Tell me why you don't have a big toe.
She said documentary. I thought she really gonna say a documentary, but
don't you feel
they took your babies?
Yeah. They took her baby. Her.
Don't you feel like documentaries now we're in this space now where there's so many documentaries that now we have like a bunch of documentaries about nothing though. It's like,
yes.
Now it's like they try to hook you in and there's nothing really there.
No, I don't watch every documentary. There was one, and I am not recommending this documentary. I just want y'all to know, because it is the most messed up thing I've ever watched. But I saw it on, somebody had recommended it on something I was watching, and it was called Goodnight Sugar Babe. The most insane thing I've ever watched. I'm not recommending you watch it. If you're into documentaries, knock yourself out. But it was like, it's like a double-edged sword for me, because like I want to know that it actually happened, like, because I don't have a knack for imagination. But at the same time, then I'm awake all night because I know that it actually happened.
So, do y'all remember Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack?
Yeah, that kept me up at night. It was about...
It kept you up at night?
Yes. So it was about this this girl that was mentally delayed, mentally disabled, and these people took her in to basically steal her Social Security check or disability check. And then... the family, there was like a mom and some brothers, or a mom and the sons or something. Anyway, one of the sons was completely mentally there. Like he took advantage of the girl, and she ended up getting pregnant, and they ended up murdering her and taking her baby. So it was really a weird documentary. I regret watching the Gabriel Fernandez documentary. It broke my heart. But it's a double-edged sword for me, because it's like, it upsets me because I know there's actual people like that in the world. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, well, that was real. Because, and I've talked about this before. I was watching this movie, and it was this girl, and in the first 10 minutes, she had killed 27 Russian spies and military leaders.
Well, that's not real.
That's not believable. American ones maybe, but not Russian ones. You're not going to be able to it just wasn't believable. And I have a really hard time engaging into that sort of thing because it's like, okay, that's not real. And I get it. I support people that get into it. I'm just not, it's not my thing.
But back to the first documentary you mentioned, unfortunately, people like this exist.
I know.
But this is something that everyone should be aware, because it can happen to anyone.
There's also another one that is quite possibly one of the most screwed up things I've ever watched in my life. Tell Them You Love Me. It was the worst.
I haven't seen it.
It was the worst. I don't recommend
Look,
that.
at the end of the day, at least these are about something. At least they'll shock you. But a lot of these documentaries that come out now, there's a Netflix documentary every week, a new one, and they're just they're trying to milk something that wasn't really that interesting, or
make something out of nothing.
Yeah,
or they just clickbait you for an hour.
I know.
It's
but listen, one of these days, whether I get elected or not, we all need to get together.
Yeah,
that Leesville Tattoo, you guys, and we need to have a cookout.
Absolutely.
Believe me when I tell you, you'll love my Japanese cooking.
I'm down for it. Can you make crab rangoons?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, I will show up anywhere for crab rangoons. Literally anywhere.
So I think anybody can make those. They're pretty simple to make.
Andre, you underestimate my ability to screw up a recipe.
But even if you don't follow a certain recipe, you can make your own recipe. You have a couple of main ingredients, which will be crab meat, your cream cheese, your dough, of course, the oil. That's very important, what type of oil you use. I personally like to use sunflower oil. It adds that extra flavor to the dish that you may be cooking if you're frying something. So I don't know if you guys ever use
high smoke
oil.
Point too, right?
Yeah, yes. I don't think I've ever used sunflower oil.
But that's all I use.
I just recently...
It's delicious when you cook with it.
Did you say sunflower or safflower?
Sunflower.
Okay.
Sunflower.
I just recently found out that there is too many olive oils on the counter from the amount of olive trees that we have.
There's 17 different kinds of olive oil.
Yeah, no, but we don't have all...
And they all do the same thing.
No, they're not real. It's not real olive oil. I just recently found this out. It's not real olive oil. There's not enough olive trees to be producing this much olive oil. So you have to be paying attention to your ingredients and stuff. I just found this out and I was just like, what? Why is this something I have to worry about?
What are they filling the rest of?
I'm not sure. Probably because I was watching it in 2 times.
I think it's probably.
Yeah, I'm I'm going to need a fact check on this one.
Some of those important plot points that you missed. Yeah.
It's something about if you put olive oil in the refrigerator, it won't actually solidify, but the fake ones will. It will get coagulated, and the real ones won't do that. So I'm just saying.
Do some research on it.
Yeah, do some. Let me know, because I was I immediately went to. This sounds so dumb. When I want something that's authentic, if it has an Italian name on it, I think it's authentic. So.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just like, oh yeah. But like I went and got spaghetti noodles, right? And I was watching this video and they were like, if it has more than like 3 ingredients on your pasta noodles, there should not be any more. It should be like semolina flour. That's all it should be on there. So that's an Italian name on whatever pasta I'm buying. That's the only one I can find with just the regular ingredients on there. So I just applied the same thing to the EVOO and it ended up being correct. Like I had bought the correct one. So it's not a bad theory, but Bertolli is not an actual spaghetti sauce. I get it, but
oh man,
yeah, I use jarred spaghetti sauce because I'm not Italian. But if it's got an Italian name, I think it's authentic. If I feel like I could say the name with the hand, it's authentic stuff.
We'll have to give you some. We'll have to give you some tomato sauce from the tomatoes that we were growing in the garden.
Say, make your own sauce.
Yeah. Spaghetti sauce.
But I like the ragu so much.
Do you?
I really do. It tastes so good. Okay, I'll tell y'all why. Okay, so I thought that my grandma had some sort of spaghetti recipe. Okay, I thought
Noodles and double jar sauce.
I thought there was some recipe, and years after she died, I'm still trying to figure out how to make her spaghetti.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how to make the marinara sauce from Suburban Gardens in Alexandria. Did you guys ever eat there?
No.
What?
No, I never heard of that.
That's what I say.
Dude, you would walk into this place. Did you ever eat there? Yeah, he knows.
Where is it?
This place, it closed down long ago, but
Okay.
you would walk in and it was like a half outdoor, like Italian joint. It was so cool. They had the plants and stuff, and
I never ate there.
candlelight, and they had the spaghettis. Oh, we would like every time we would go to Alexandria, we would get like we'd order like a bucket of spaghetti from them and just take it home. Yeah, like we were going to buy in bulk,
Oh my God. Could you imagine? I would like a Home Depot bucket full of spaghetti.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
Costco, is it Costco where you go buy the big stuff?
Yeah.
It was a small bucket. It wasn't,
Just roll up with a Home Depot bucket.
But they had the best.
Fill her up.
Oh, they had the best sauce. It was like kind of sweet and,
Well, I thought my grandma was making her sauce, okay? Until one day I accidentally bought the wrong jar of spaghetti sauce.
And it tasted just like...
And I go home and I'm making the spaghetti. And I was like, oh my God, this is my grandma's spaghetti. It was no secret recipe. It was just,
that's hilarious.
It came out of a jar.
I've been deceived all these years.
Well, and it was fine. It was nostalgic. And that's why I keep eating it, because it reminds me of my grandma. It tastes good. Yeah. Now, admittedly, it's not Joe's Italian spaghetti. That's really good spaghetti.
We ate there the other day after I called you.
I know. It's a great recommendation.
It absolutely was a great recommendation.
But
I had the chicken Parmesan sandwich.
Man, their lasagna is off the chain. I don't know if you've ever had their lasagna, but
Where's that at?
Joe's Italian in town.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I really like it. Yeah, you haven't eaten there?
I haven't.
You
should try it.
You need to go.
It's really good. I think.
I've been skeptical about Joe's Italian restaurant.
Have you really?
Yeah, I'm skeptical of any like small town. It's the same thing where you didn't want to eat Mexican in Chicago. I don't really want to know if I want to eat Italian in Leesville. But I did have their tiramisu the other night. It was super good.
I don't know if it helps any. But the guy that owns it he's legit. Like he has an accent. Like he has an accent. Yeah, he's well, when he called
is he New York Italian or is he like
no? He's Italian. Okay. So he called the radio station, and his English was at the time, it's gotten better, but he was calling and I was having a hard time communicating with him. And I'm sorry, he was sending messages, and his messages, he speaks better than he types, than he writes it out. So finally I was like, just call me. So once I get on the phone with him, I was like, because I was the same way. I was like, what guy named Joe is opening an Italian restaurant? But he's legit.
Okay,
he's a legit Italian.
It's a done deal.
You won't be sorry.
All right.
Yeah, you will not be sorry. I don't think I've had anything there that wasn't good.
I don't think I've had any of their pizzas yet, but they tell me their pizzas are the best in town.
If you order a small pizza, you're going home with leftovers. It's massive, and it's only like $15. And it's a huge pizza. Huge. I'm just like, man, Italians are serious about their pizza.
What time do they close?
He's like, let me text Marianne.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you one roundup question. If anybody that sees this, that you don't get an opportunity to speak to face to face, what do you want them to know about you, and what your what your aspirations are for the city, so that you can tell them in case you don't get to see them?
So definitely, I hope I see them in person first of all. I hope I do. Like I say, I speak to people every time I get the opportunity. We discuss issues. There's a few issues did not come up in our conversations right now, but one big one is the road conditions. Okay, and I drive around town. I've been driving for the last year or so, and I've seen some horrible roads. I'm sorry, but we do have grants, okay, federal, state. We have the budget. I do here, we have surplus. We don't have to spend all the money into repairing every road, but we have to start somewhere and finish. Not just start the project and then leave it, start another project. You start the project, you finish it. Okay, so you know you don't have to keep going back and forth or somehow forget and leave something unfinished. Definitely, that's a big issue for the community and people I speak to. Driven through some roads recently, it looks like World War III. Literally big old, I say about 12 feet, 3 feet deep. So I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's one issue that I'll be looking into. The I will be addressing, because we cannot afford, with today's prices, going to this grocery store just to buy groceries, and then on the way have to stop by the mechanic shop just to fix the damages that occur on your vehicle, just going to the grocery store. We shouldn't be dodging potholes just to get down the road. There is a lot of elderly and handicapped community members that have approached me, and unfortunately, some of them they drive these little electric chairs. They're not even able to get out of their driveway, so that's unacceptable. Mm-hmm. It should not happen.
Yeah,
in 2026, that should not exist, especially in our community. Like I said, we have Fort Polk right next to us. There's military families living here. And like you said, military gives you a lot of experience going around. And what I hear, especially from military, is very disappointing, because they've seen what small community in other states or other towns in Louisiana look like versus our community. And it's very disappointing with some of the stuff that they're telling me. We'll be addressing that if I get elected. Youth programs, we don't have any. I believe, and I don't want to take credit, but on the last agenda, I did hear something that it kind of made me happy. On the last council meeting, they put in where they're amending the rule to be able to hire youth, for the city.
I think right now they're unable to hire anybody under 16.
And I understand, but that's a step forward.
Yeah.
And that's something I spoke about in the interview with KLB and in the podcast with Leesville Tattoo. We have to have programs that can help our kids develop into our workforce.
Yeah.
We have to have something available that will provide a future for our kids instead of letting them just leave and look for a job somewhere else.
Right.
And that's a step forward. I was really happy to see that on the agenda this past week city council meeting, because with programs like this, that will ensure success for our kids, for our youth. So definitely we need more of these programs that will help the community in general. Then another thing, of course, businesses. We have to be business friendly. We have to be able to work with the businesses that are here now. And the reason why I'm saying this, I did bring Lee from Leesville Tattoo here, but I do speak to other business owners that are giving me feedback with issues that they faced and they're still facing. We have to be able to help these businesses succeed in order for us to attract new business. Of course, they own bigger businesses will come in to compete with some of the bigger corporations. But as of right now, with what we have we have to be able to work and help them succeed.
Yeah.
That'll open up jobs for our community members. That'll help them expand, and then later attract more business and bigger corporations. So definitely those are issues that keep coming up when I'm talking to community members. Some of the stuff is very disappointing that I see and I hear. So I actually have a chart at home that I put down every time I talk to someone. How many people brought this issue, how many people brought this issue to me, and I do classify them in order how it'll be looked at. But every issue has to be discussed. Again, with communication, in community involvement, we have to discuss the issues we're facing and work together for solutions.
Right, right.
Yeah, so definitely I want everybody to know this, that if I'm elected, there will be open communication. So I am running on transparency, and I intend to keep my word. If I give my word and I say I will do something, I always do. I never break a promise. So this is something that everybody needs to know about me.
So the election day is April the 16th.
May 16th.
That's
May
what 16th. I meant. May 16th. Early voting is in April. You can register to vote online at geauxvote.com. That is govote.com. Or you can go to your registrar's office, which is right there on 3rd Street in Leesville. Register to vote. Early voting is in April. I have forgotten the dates.
No. So they have until April 15th to register to vote. But early voting, I believe, is May 2nd. They're closed on May 3rd and May 9th.
Yes.
So 2 Saturdays in a row.
Yeah.
So May 2nd, which is a Saturday, then May 9th, and then the election is May 16th.
And April 25th is the last day to register online. That's the last day. Yeah, I think it's April 12th in person.
In person is the 15th.
It's the 15th. Yeah. Okay, so April 25th online, April 15th in person. So those are the ways you can vote. And again, from all of the candidates we have heard, it doesn't matter who you vote for. Although they prefer you to vote for them,
just vote.
Just vote. You know.
Yes, definitely. Any support is appreciated, but whoever you support, vote. Speak your mind. If you want to see a certain candidate in office, make sure you speak up. Don't let the few decide for the many.
Right. Go tell your neighbors. Tell everybody, are you registered to vote? That's every time I'm, are you registered to vote? Are you registered to vote? Make sure you vote,
Offer to give them a ride.
Yeah. And I better not hear anybody saying, oh, my vote doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
There's such a low voter turnout, especially
every vote counts.
Every vote counts.
Absolutely matters.
It specifically matters to me more in local elections than it does national. So I just tell you to exercise your right to vote at all times.
Yep.
Andre, thank you so much for giving us some time today. I appreciate y'all coming out.
And if thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I know we were trying to come up with the schedule, but I'm glad we was able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
And again, we appreciate you being here and good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
We'll see y'all on the next episode of Locally Hated.